What is going on, everybody? Stubbs here from Retro Handhelds. We are back this week from Los Angeles and Anaheim, California there, from visiting MSI with Russ, Mikhailov today, Rob, and Ban was there in spirit. But you guys have fun this week?
I had a blast.
Yeah.
Well, now we're back. Some of us are a little rested. I'm lost a little sleep over doing the Claw video, but it was fun. It was worth it, right? It was a fun time.
I was freezing because it's like 60 degrees there, and that's too much for my little warm bones. And so I was like, I brought a jacket and everything, but I was just like shivering and stuff. It was just cold. So I'm back to now 78 degrees here, so I'm better.
On the other hand, I was just wearing like shorts and a t-shirt thinking it was heaven.
I can't imagine how Mikhailo felt going back to the East Coast, though.
Oh, the second my plane landed and I saw snow on the ground, I'm like, oh, here we go.
Oh, you got snow already? I wish.
Yeah, we got snow already.
It was like 45 out. I was in a t-shirt today.
I would just be dead. I would die 45 degrees.
You would just fall over dead. That'd be the end of it.
That's how he freezes to death.
I'd send you some snow, Russ. But
you're crazy, man.
It'll just be water at that point.
Yeah, that's just called water. Yeah.
Yeah. Some genuine Connecticut water, which is melted snow.
It might not be too bad.
Yeah, right. Well, it seems like a lot has happened in the last week while we were out. New Anbernic was announced. We heard word about RPCS3, which isn't even a topic in our list tonight, but we're going to talk about it anyways because that's exciting. That they're coming to ARM and on Linux potentially here. And we're also going to talk AYN Portal 2 because a mysterious YouTuber dropped this off with me while I was down there looking at the Claw stuff. And the Pocket Evo. We're excited to announce a new sponsor for the podcast, so we'll talk about that later. And the GPD Win 4 arrives with that new AI9 HX370 Strix Point chip. I don't know what they're doing with the naming conventions these days, guys.
Awful. Any way they could confuse someone, they will take that opportunity. AMD's excellent at that.
You know how many times I had to say MSI.
I don't even know which order to say it in.
AI plus, and apparently like it's AMV2 is the official model name. So I'm like, okay, all right, but it's fun technology, and so we're gonna talk about that as well. Then we're gonna talk about our Handheld of the Year update. So you're gonna be able to enter to win into this round 3 of voting here and get entered into our year-end giveaway. If you want to donate, this is the last week for us to accept donations to get everything done in time. So if you have anything sitting around that's not getting love, feel free to contact us, Ban specifically through our Discord. And he's taking in some donations. So we'll try to get those out to people who maybe don't have handhelds. And we even have
really awesome
one or two surprise unboxings today. One of them is this new variant of the GameSir G8 Plus.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's not a surprise. He just showed it.
Look at this
he ruined it.
What?
You ruined the surprise.
Yeah, but it's still boxed, so it's a surprise if it's good or not.
Okay.
Oh, God.
We don't know what it really looks like.
Master of the surprises.
Hey, now, do I ruin my own surprises? Okay, but there might be a second thing.
Maybe
that you don't know what it is. None of you guys know what it is. I don't know. No, I know what it is. Okay, well, to kind of get us in the mood before we go through this whole host of news topics, guys, what have you been playing this week? Russ, what have you been playing?
So the past 24 hours, I've been playing Indiana Jones because that just came out, and it's
Me
like
too.
the perfect game in terms of compatibility because it works on Game Pass, both Xbox and PC, cross-save compatibility. If you buy it on Steam, cross-save compatibility with that too. And so it's like no matter where you get it, across all these platforms, you can play the same save file. I love that. And so I started it up on my Series X last night, and then I continued on my Series S today, like just in random breaks. I just had it running all day, and I would go over there and play a few minutes. And it's great. I wish it was third person. Like, I don't like that it's a first person game because it's like
Well,
your placement, like where
yeah.
you stand, it really matters in that game, right? It's like in the beginning, it's like, oh, don't touch the light and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna touch the light or not because it's first person. It's hard to tell where you are, you know. Whereas with like Uncharted, you know exactly where your dude is, and so I
Right.
kind of was hoping that, but
Kinda
otherwise,
bummed
no
about that.
complaints. Yeah, other than that, no complaints. It's a great game, but
it sucks
cool
you
puzzles
in.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the puzzles are cool. I tried it on my Series X today. It's on Game Pass for free. If you have that on Xbox. But have you tried bum rushing the golden statue in the beginning? Like I couldn't get past the first puzzle where you're trying not to step on the stones and like they're throwing
Yeah.
poison darts at your stick. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I just jumped and ran past it, got the thing, and then just get out of there. And then the boulder comes down,
Yeah,
and it actually worked. I was like,
Oh, that's funny. No, I went super slow through that.
I couldn't do it. I lost patience. I said, I wonder if I can jump in particular spots, swap out the thing, but then I messed up and everything went wrong. And it's a very good game. It's a very good game.
Yeah, it's by the developers of Dishonored, which is a stealth first person game, and so it
Okay.
rewards you by taking your time with that game. So you definitely go slow rather than fast. So
And sorry, Pink Dan, that's at the very first 5 minutes of the game. So hopefully not too much spoilers, but
it's the tutorial.
it's the tutorial. Yeah.
Nice.
It's cool, but I mean, it does get you into third person every once in a while when it's going to a story mode. At least, like it pans out of your body, and you get to see your Harrison Ford character.
There's an ultra wide mode. I don't know if you saw that. So it's good. They call it cinematic. But you
Oh,
can turn
I
that
saw
on
that.
because by default it's 16:9. You can turn on cinematic. It'll put black bars on top and bottom, but it'll widen your perspective. And so it's really cool looking. Like on my big TV at home in my Series X, I turned that on, and I just didn't notice the bezels after a moment, you know. And I was just like, "This is cool." It's like playing on an ultra wide monitor, you know. So that was really neat.
And apparently, Quadzilla here is saying that it's from the developers of Wolfenstein. Oh,
Oh, like the new Colossus, isn't it? Is that the same
Is that
guys?
it?
Am I mixing it up? Oh well. It has that kind of feel, that same Dishonored like Wolfenstein feel, where it's like first person, but not quite like your Call of Duty kind of feel. It's a little bit more jumpy. Yeah, I like it.
I haven't tried it yet, but the way you're describing it almost makes it sound kind of like Metroid Prime, except you're Indiana Jones instead of Samus.
Yeah, that's not a bad association actually. That's pretty.
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
That sounds about right. It's so particular where you have to step and what you have to do, and but the jungle scenes render awesomely, and it definitely looked next gen on that. And like Carrie the Fox was saying earlier today, he was saying, well, once you see characters' faces, you're reminded, okay, this is still last gen tech. It's Microsoft's new game engine, but there's still some, I don't know, there's still some parts that don't maybe seem super realistic. And I agree, like the faces on Harrison Ford, awesome, but some of the side characters, not as much time spent there.
Yeah, and I just looked it up. Yes, it is. It's Machine Games who are the guys who made all the Wolfenstein games, not
Machine
Dishonored.
Games, yeah. So
but
because
still.
Arcane, I think, is defunct now. They're gone.
Yeah. And they're the guys who
Which is a
did
bummer,
the
unfortunately.
going back even further, like that Machine Games was made from Starbreeze Studios, which were the guys who made Chronicles of Riddick on the original Xbox. Again, a
Oh,
first-person shooter game, it's a little bit different feeling. And then The Darkness was also another first-person game that they made. Again, like a little bit outside of the norm. And so I feel all of those games now that I think about that, because I played all of those as well. And so, yeah, I really like the feel of it, but I just kind of wish it was a little bit more like a true Uncharted, you know, but it's all good.
I feel like it's that third person lends itself better to the kind of the exploration, you know, in terms of Indiana Jones style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping it would be more like the Emperor's Tomb from the Xbox days, but I still want to give this a shot. I mean, I love anything Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it just
The voice actor is good. It sounds like, you know, mostly Harrison Ford. Good enough, you know.
it sounds it's pretty close, and it's a very engaging gameplay so far. It kind of pulls you in. I actually had to like, force myself to stop playing it. Like, I got to get prepared for the podcast. I'm wildly unprepared tonight as a result. The game's too good. So also producer Sony is in out of the country right now on vacation with his wife. So Rob and I are putting on our old production hats today, and we might even call Dan back to the attic to help out. We'll see.
I will not go back.
Well, See about
That's a
that.
pretty hard no right there.
I'm done. I got
Time.
out. I'm not going back.
You did your time. All right. All right.
Just put Derek in there.
Good. Yeah, Derek. We'll see. All right. Cool. Mikhailov, what are you playing right now, man?
What are video games?
Right.
Tell me. I don't know.
He's
So-
not wrong.
No, but there's one coming out tomorrow. I'm really hyped for.
Me
The
too.
new Power Rangers
Oh,
game is launching.
yeah, I'm super psyched for that
Oh,
too.
right. The 2D, like
Yeah.
Shredder's Revenge style one.
Yeah, I am
Mhm.
super excited for that because I don't know. In my opinion, we have yet to have a good Power Rangers game, and I think after like 30 something odd years of being a fan, we might actually.
Finally. Yeah.
The
I
last
know,
good ones were like on Super Nintendo. You know, the original game and then the movie one. Those are my favorites back in the day. But there's not a whole lot of good Power Ranger games out there.
You tried the fighting ones
Yeah.
that were on like Super NES.
They're
They're okay.
I mean, I enjoyed it back in the day, but
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, you want the
I
whole
was
Zord
a-
experience.
Fan of the Game Gear ones because the Game Gear ones
Those are
were
good,
fighting
yeah.
style games,
Yeah.
but they would actually go through a story mode where like you would go down, you'd pick your Power Ranger, you'd go down, they would throw a bunch of like low health putties at you, you'd fight them, and then you'd come out with the big monster, you'd fight that, then he would get big and you would form the Megazord. It like went through the whole thing, but it was simplistic graphics. I used to go into the sound test when I was little,
Yeah.
and I would play the sound test on the Game Gear, just let the music play, and then I would go play with my actual Power Ranger toys.
That's awesome.
I get total.
I don't-
vibes
I
of the
never
Super
played
Nintendo
any
game.
Power Rangers or did anything with the show, but man, I had a crush on the pink Power Ranger. I think everyone did at that time.
Everyone
Who
did.
didn't?
So,
That sounds like another autograph I need to try and get you.
Good luck.
Okay, Michaela. Disneyland should have taught you a thing or two. We'll just keep that between ourselves, but you know, certain Frozen actress.
I thought
That's
we
all I'm
weren't
gonna say.
talking about that, Rob.
It looks cool, man. I mean, it looks good. Some of the audience doesn't agree with us, though. Another mediocre beat 'em up.
Really?
Oh.
I mean, what would you
Oh.
prefer to go back to? Like, there's one Power Ranger game on the GBA called, what was it, for SPD? That was such a bad game. I'd rather this.
This looks, it looks pretty decent. Like a good take on the franchise. That's cool. Well, nice. Rob, man, what are you playing this week?
I actually, well, before the MSI trip, I actually was playing Ghost of Tsushima, which
me too.
I've been playing it on my Steam Deck, and so I just been going through it. I'm only a couple hours in, but man, that game is so good, and I can't believe how
That
well
was
it
my-
runs on the Steam Deck.
yeah, that was my playing game. It is so good. That game is so good. Like I've been waiting years to play it, and it
good.
finally was on
Yeah.
sale with the Steam sale, and I was like, I'll just get it. And
Yep,
it's
that's
the
pretty much
first
what got
5
me
minutes,
to
I was like, yeah, I was like, first 5 minutes, I was
Yeah.
like, why did I wait so long? This is so good. It's like everything that I've been trying to slog through a bunch of different games, and this
Yeah.
one is the one that like really mixes with what I like. You know, super fast, brutal fights. Like you just chop once and you're done. You know what I mean? Like it's such a good game. So
Yeah, the graphics, the gameplay, the story. I mean, just everything comes together. It's so good. I mean, yeah, just I highly recommend it for sure. It's just one of those games that you have to play, regardless of what platform you're playing it on. You know, it's well worth it.
how are you playing it? Are you doing English language voice track or Japanese and
I
subtitles?
did.
How are you doing?
I did English. Yeah, I did the English one.
Okay.
And the voice acting
Yeah,
is
I'm
quite good.
Yeah, the English is good, but the Japanese is like, I don't know, it's a little bit more like it's transporting me, you know. And it's funny
Mhm.
because it's made by Sucker Punch, like a Washington-based
I know.
game
I know.
development studio.
I'm
It's
thinking
not a
like,
Japanese
what?
studio. Yeah,
I
but
know.
they got this story, and even the phrasing that they use and like just their concepts of like honor and stuff like that is just very Japanese feeling. And so yeah, I really like it.
My biggest problem with a game like this is that I see the map and I see like, oh, undiscovered location, so I go there, and then I go to the next one, and I never actually do much of the mainline story. I'm just exploring the world and trying to find new things and everything that you can unlock, and it's just I'm gonna spend many hours on this game. I can tell already.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a while
That's
before I
usually the
finish
sign of a
it.
good game.
Oh yeah, it hooks you right from the beginning. Honestly, I mean, it's just captivating.
Nice.
I'm looking at
Gus
her.
says the most handsome dude is in the middle top. Is that Russ or Mikhailov? I think it's a mix.
I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
Thank
Russ
you
We're
for
all
your
equally handsome. $100.
No, is that $100? I don't think so.
mixed MX Mexico
I'm assuming I'm pesos, but still,
pesos.
I love how they
Still.
make it look like $100. It's awesome.
Well, thank you for your super chat. Let's see. I can run the show. I can find where this is at. We have a clip for this, and it is. I thought we did.
Oh, I know there's a clip.
There you go. Yeah.
Hey,
Look at him,
Hey.
man.
Here's
You got
AI
it.
Stubbs, which is very, very different from real Stubbs.
Yeah, real Stubbs stance is better.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll see. We'll see.
It's true.
Ah. Okay. Well,
So, how about you, Stubbs? What are you playing?
Indiana Jones. Yeah, I mean just today, but before that, I actually didn't play games on the trip this week. So for those who didn't know, also we went to Disneyland the last day after the trip, just as a YouTuber group, a few of us, and got into shenanigans, had fun, and there was no downtime. It feels like we spent so much time, just doing claw stuff, going out doing this, going to Disneyland, and then so I suppose Disneyland California Adventure is the game I was playing. Went on the Fox. The Fox and I held hands and rode on the Cars roller coaster.
Rob and I
Hey,
held hands for
That's
that.
what. Yeah, Michaela and I held hands on that ride.
Yeah.
Wait, so the
I've
Cars one is where
never
you get in
heard-
the car and you kind of go along the track really
Yeah.
quickly.
And
That's
at first,
Yeah,
like,
it
this
goes,
is fun.
like,
This
super
this
fast.
is cute, and then it goes into crazy roller coaster mode. It's like
It's awesome.
Isn't
going
the
around.
line for that like super long?
It was like probably
Wasn't too
30
bad.
minutes.
Yeah, like 30
At
minutes.
most.
Yeah, the
Oh,
lines
that's
were
good.
fairly
Lines are pretty good. We
for
went,
Friday.
went on a
moved,
Spider-Man one
Yeah.
too. It's like a VR thing, and you're shooting your
Hmm.
webs and
Oh yeah,
getting
I remember that.
spiders. And I've never been to California Adventure. It was my first time. I've been to Disneyland once when I was 7, and I went to the Haunted
Yeah.
Mansion. It was awesome and scary. So,
Yeah,
it was cool.
I had never heard a more scary "oh no" than I did coming from Rob on the Cars ride.
And Russ, you couldn't make
You
it.
knew
You
it
did
when,
the
when
route.
that thing picked up
You missed
speed. You're like, you're in for this. That's it. This is it.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
like
awesome.
right before that first major hill, I'm pretty sure I heard it. Oh no! And then we went,
I'm pretty sure that's on camera too. They do like the little snapshot on the rides, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly what my face is saying on that.
It was ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd go again, but I want to bring my kids next time because I'm like, man, they
Oh,
would
yeah, for
appreciate
sure.
this so much more. Pick them up some souvenirs, some stuffies, and dude, prices in Disneyland. I mean, I knew they were going to be expensive, but I had no idea just how crazy they are.
Yeah,
But they're really high quality, so. Yeah, so that was me. Man, what have you been playing? What have you been doing up to?
Well, considering I think out of everyone, I've had the most amount of time in the last week. I split my time between 2 games. I got my weekly run in for Forza Horizon 5 to collect my cars for the winter festivities. But I also purchased, because it goes on sale almost immediately, Sonic X Shadows Generations.
Hmm.
So I got a good start on that one because I'm not going to have time this week.
That's a fun one. Yeah, you're big into the Sonic. You kind of put the Sonic on a pedestal a little bit for good reason.
Say
good
pedestal?
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 pedestal.
Pedestal?
Pedestal?
Pedestal? Is it really pedestal?
I
I've
say
saying pedestal my whole life because it's a stool. And you're putting-
A stool is something you stand on.
Right.
Yeah, a
Because
pedestal
you're putting it up on the stand-on thing.
Yeah, but you're not actually standing on it. A pedestal is more of a display
pedestal's meant to
thing.
be. Yeah,
Which one's
exactly.
more
You shouldn't
stable?
be standing on that.
I think a pedestal would be more stable because it's not going to move.
I'll tell you what's more
table's pretty
stable. Today's sponsor, Stable Table.
You have a table that isn't so stable? Oh no! My table. Oh good, a place to put my books. Ah! That's not stable. Well, it's no problem, because you just need Stable Table Pro, the wobbly table solution. Available on Amazon. The perfect fix for unstable furniture in your home, restaurant, or any establishment. Go to StableTablePro.com to learn more. Tables, chairs, dressers, bookshelves, yes, that's right, even media centers and more. It works on wood, concrete, patio, tile, linoleum, grass, and dirt. Just slide under the uneven surface for a fix in seconds flat. Let me show you how it works. You just take your, this, take your shim, look, it's easy. Okay, now how many books can it hold? Plus my slippers, and maybe even this train track. Oh my God! Well, for a little while there, that was a stable table. So let yourself become a Stable Table Pro today. Affiliate link in the description.
So
I knew that was fake the moment it started.
What do you mean
said,
fake?
Oh, well, listen to me. When you said, I'm gonna see if it can hold my books, I'm like, Stubbs doesn't read. That's not true.
I read. I'm a reader.
What do you
read.
read?
I'm well read.
Don't get off
Calvin
the
and Hobbes.
pedestal about that.
Like-
Come on now.
He reads RH Weekly.
That's true. Like,
Yeah.
Did you mean to wait till I was drinking
Yeah.
to tell that joke?
like
That was so good. Stubbs, that was a very good commercial. I
Thank
loved
you
it.
for thank you. Okay, so Zoo is sick this week. Okay, he has the norovirus and he can't be he has the
Again.
night off from doing our sponsorships, and so I had to do my best. And I had to channel my inner Zoo, and I knew that I could do it, but I didn't know if I was ready for it. And it turns out I was. So check it out, Stable Table. It's a real product. It's a real sponsorship, and I expect to see more from Stable Table. So
That was a great segue into that, though. That was perfect.
Speechless. So
you
good.
guys set me
That
up. It
was
was good. But anyways, back to Sonic. Yeah, Ban. So you're into Sonic, and I think it's an awesome game as well. Thanks for sharing it about that with me. Okay, so immediate pivot to Rob. What's in the news today, sir?
Oh, what are you guys feeling? There's lots of things we can talk
Oh,
about. How about this-
what's
you
going
know,
on today? What's this
Why
stuff?
not? Why
oh,
not?
Anbernic. Okay, so
Why
we got to
not?
talk about this, everybody. Okay, so listen. Anbernic has made their 12th handheld in as many months, and this time you thought it was just a nostalgic-looking GBA called the RG34XX. No. This one has a 3:2 aspect ratio for real. So this is the first time since I believe the 351P we had a 3:2 aspect ratio on an Anbernic device, and it actually looks like a GBA. So I'm now stoked. Might as well finish the year off with another XX. What do you guys think?
What's wild though is that the night before this dropped, I said to you guys, I'm surprised that Anbernic hasn't dropped their December handheld. And
I thought it'd be the
next
Win
morning-
701.
Wake
No.
up to this.
And then here we are. This happened while we were on
Yeah.
the trip. I remember
Yep.
you guys wanted me to come down to Disneyland, and I was like, "Hold on, sorry, new shit has come to light," and we had to get on there, and one of our writers got the article going. You put the promo around, like, "Oh, look at this new thing." It's a madhouse around here when a new Anbernic surprise drop happens. Rob,
It'll be really
this is his
interesting to
fault.
see how this plays out. They're, thinking about 351M, I think was the last 3:2 aspect ratio device they made. So that came out after the P. But then after that, they haven't touched any. And it's always been an issue where those screens that they released back then were 480 by 320. So the resolution was a 2x GBA, which is great, but it was just bad for everything else when it came to scaling. And so I remember back then, thinking, man, if they just had a screen like this with a higher resolution, then I think people would love it because it can do a little bit of widescreen and a little bit of 4:3. Like it's kind of a good mix between the two. And so
Yeah.
I think it's kind of neat in that regard. It's 3.4 inches, so a little bit on the small side, but we'll see how it goes.
We'll see if it's comfortable, if they can stick to that new style of D-pad that they've been known for. And yeah, face buttons feel good. They don't need to do much to make this one right, I feel like.
No, I don't think so. Colors are awesome. They look really good.
Yeah, they have indigo. That transparent green especially looks awesome.
That's the one I need.
I need this.
We both need it.
We both
So
need
if you
it.
pause that right there, Stubbs. So if
Yeah.
you look at her hand, her thumb,
Yeah.
the X and the Y buttons, the like bracers beneath them are actually in an X and Y pattern.
What?
The button itself, I don't think actually has anything written on it. The X
Right.
and the Y is underneath, so you see it through the transparent button that it's X and Y, which I think is a
That's
cool little
wild.
touch to kind of make it just
That is cool.
flow into the whole device. I don't know what it's going to look like with the opaque models, but
Right.
yeah, I noticed that and I was like, oh, that's actually pretty neat.
It's
One of the first things I do with a Game Boy game whenever I'm playing it on one of these devices is I always have to go into RetroArch and I need to change the controls so that Y is B and B is A, just because it just feels better to play that way. I don't
Mhm.
think I'm going to need to do that with this one. I think the
Right, yeah,
A
I agree.
buttons are placed just to where they're supposed to be. The X and Y are kind of out of the way, and I think you can just go in and play Game Boy Advance. It's probably going to be one of the better ways to play it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
totally.
I do like
think I
that
would
touch.
like NES like that too.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
like
Yeah.
the touch.
Yeah,
with the
NES
X.
as well. You're right. Actually,
Yeah.
Super Nintendo might be awkward.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, having that 3:2 aspect ratio for GBA is just, I think I'm just going to make this my dedicated GBA machine. And I know, we're going to be seeing units probably within the next 7 days is my guess, so that we can
For
get this
sure.
out, videos out, because they want to probably get this out before Christmas, likely. I'm sure, or at least get the pre-orders going before then. So
I think
Yeah,
nostalgia
the 16th is going to be the day that they're going to put it up for sale.
Yep.
So
that's right. The 16th, 5 a.m. Eastern.
So
it's
1
gonna
week
go
from
up
today.
for-
weeks from today, yeah.
It's going to go up for $65 plus shipping for 72 hours, and afterwards it goes up, I think, to 70 or 75.
The 70 straight 70, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, look at that! Look at that pivot on the D-pad.
So this is another XX device, so it's going to be running your custom firmware like MinUI and Knulli and all the MuOS, all your standard options once the devs get that ready. It is a new screen size, so that's not only it's exciting, and I wonder why we didn't see the screen size in the SP, or maybe there'll be another SP that has a 3:2 aspect ratio. I don't know.
Gosh.
Don't put that in the world.
No.
I won't put that evil on you, Rob. But
Don't
if you
put
saw
that
it,
in the world.
if you saw it, that you'll be like, okay, well, obviously I need to upgrade to the 3:2
Well, the thing is,
aspect ratio one.
I guarantee you, there's going to be a ton of people out there who have the SP or who are now going to run out and buy this thing because of the nostalgia factor.
And they're
You
gonna
look at
have a
this and
combo
you're
pack.
You want this. You need this.
I've been seeing in the comments in the last week that and people are just saying this is a day one buy. Almost unanimous. This is a day one buy, and it's like, I'm like, I'm trying to get caught up in the okay. Wait, what are we seeing here? And I think when I get it in my hands, I'll definitely join the train. I'm sure, but we'll see, because at first it was like, another Anbernic, but that's just my YouTube exhaustion talking, I realize. So it's like I got to get it in my hands. I gotta see what it's like. And
I'm
the thing
pretty
is,
sure-
I had an SP, but I never had this one. I never had this style before, so I don't have the nostalgia for this design.
You and me both.
I have a
Yeah,
nostalgia.
never had
this
it
was
either.
this was my first Game Boy. I mean, my first Game Boy Advance model that I had. So I went with the LG first.
I bought one later on. I had an IPS mod from Eames that I picked up, which I loved. I loved it. It was comfortable. I liked that, but I don't have any built-in nostalgia.
I mean, to
Oh,
be fair,
I-
mine was the Glacier model, which I loved. I love that color so
Ah.
much.
Oh yeah, I wish they had done like a glacier
Glacier.
colorway.
Glacier would be cool.
same.
Glacier would be cool.
I mean, I know you cried at Ben when they showed the green on screen. I'm almost positive you did.
You know me so well.
I was like, that's Ban's green. They made it for him.
I don't know what it is about Anbernic, but they put out 2 green handhelds this year. No one else like puts too much attention to that color.
Yeah.
Look at that indigo. That was the first one I ever bought. I actually bought a Game Boy Advance on release.
He shed green tears.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
it looks.
Red looks good too.
Yeah, it looks cool. We're gonna have to see. All right. Well, we'll check back with that. You'll hear more from us. Next, I had up the Portal 2 and Evo, but we'll do the hands-on in a little bit. Let's talk about the Claw first while we're here. So let us know in the chat too. Are you excited for the new Claw? Either of the new Claws? I know that the last one was not popular at all, and many had disdain for it, and there were a few vocal ones in the community. There are dozens of us who saw maybe some of the redeeming qualities and are like, oh, for the price point now, it's pretty good. So it went down. MSI invited us out down there to their launch event, pre-launch event, and all it was basically was the MSI, I think, marketing staff and a few engineers. Russ, is that right?
Yeah, the PM was there. That's like their guy who's the product manager. So the guy running it too. He was
okay. The product manager and the folks there. And then it was mostly, I think it was all YouTubers who were there. And there were like 7 or 8 of us total. And, we had Bob Wolf, which first time I met Bob, which was awesome. And Bob's actually going to be on this show, everybody. So he'll be here December 23rd.
2 weeks, right?
2 weeks from now. Yeah, Bob will be on the RH podcast for the first time. So we're stoked for that. Russ kind of introduced us a bit there. And also, who else? ETA Prime. I'm forgetting Cyber Dopamine. These dudes here. Fox. Spectre.
Spectre. Yep, Alex.
Yeah.
Rudy.
Spectre Tech was there. Alex, Rudy. Gosh, Baldly Rudy. Anyways, we got together and it was fun. We were a little bit tired going into the first day, but then we got into actually playing with the Claw, and I got stoked. Like, I heard the speakers, and if you saw my video, I definitely focused in on what I loved about the new one, while also saying, hey, the old one's still really good, and it's going to take a lot to kind of get me from that device to this one. So we'll see how it does in real world, because $900 asking price is really, really tough, even though Lunar Lake's cool and power efficient, awesome battery life, all that good stuff. But it is spendy, and Strix Point is too. So we're going to see what Asus does this year at Computex to maybe bring us a Z2E or some follow-up that can compete. But I don't know. What do you, Russ, I know you didn't make a video on this one. Do you want to share maybe your kind of takeaways?
Yeah, I think that, so a couple interesting things. One is that, the old Claw, I have it here, is like, it had a grip to it. You can see like a full-on, like, kind of chunky grip, not as big as a Steam Deck, but pretty prominent. This one does not have that, so it's flatter. But then also they made it a lot more rounded. So this one had like those kind of sharper angles here on the bottom part and stuff. They keep it more rounded. And then also, if you look, it's taller now because it's a 16:10 aspect ratio, and now it's 8 inches, which is a big screen. And because it's 16:10, like, the taller screen means the taller handheld, which means more space for your hands. And so it's not necessarily a handheld that you would grip, like full on hold it like an Xbox controller, but more that you can just kind of wrap your hand around it. And I actually brought like my, on my ROG Ally X, I have like these 3D printed grips. I made a video about, just kind of how they really enhance the overall grip feel. I had them with me. And so I like pulled them off and I was like, hey, you should make something like this, or talk to the guy who makes this. And you know what I mean? Like, make it just an option for others. And so they were like scribbling down. They were like, oh yeah. You know what I mean? So who knows what will actually happen, but so that might be great to just kind of have options for people like me who just like very particular ergonomics, but I do think that it's more comfortable than the previous one, which is a big deal for me. And then they did a great job with the shoulder and trigger buttons. I think that the wraparound of your finger, like, to get to it is like really easy to hit. And I mean, they didn't admit it, but they just full on took an Xbox Series controller and were like, what can we do here? And they just like took that design, you know what I mean? Like, it is so close. And I'm like, yeah, I see where this came from, but I don't mind that. Like, it's okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's a good design, and I want to see it in more things. And so I really did like that trigger feel. The analog sticks are a little bit like not loose, but they're light.
Yeah.
So it's not, you don't get a lot of resistance. And so that was a complaint a lot of people had about the initial one, and it feels about the same. So I think they just went an opposite route. They're like, oh no, it gives you more intuitive control or whatever the word they use.
Right.
And that's not what we want, but okay.
I was
So-
okay with the shoulders, but the D-pad killed it for
Oh,
me.
yeah.
And face buttons I liked, but yeah, that was
Yeah, they
was-
made it deeper now, so it's like a dish, you know, in the center
Yeah.
here. Same kind of style, but man, you couple that with like the glossy texture of the D-pad itself, and it's just like this cavern of pain. Basically, when you're trying to play a Street
You're
Fighter,
trying to
game,
do it.
trying to roll your thumb, it hurts. Like it's just like it reminded you like an NES controller. That D-pad was hard as heck, and you used to get thumb pain on certain games, and I could see that happening here. Not so much an issue with modern games because you're just gonna be swapping weapons or
Right.
whatever. But yeah, I mean their like show off game or their showcase game was Street Fighter 6. So we're all doing Hadoukens and we're all like, my thumb, you know what I mean? Like,
No, we were all not doing Hadoukens.
No.
The only person that was Carrie, and
I was gonna
no one
say-
else could pull it off.
I was gonna
No,
say
I did all right. I was getting some Hadoukens in.
I was
good.
getting them in once I figured out that you really needed to give it a good amount of force. The problem was like I went in at first trying to roll the D-pad, and that you cannot do that on the claw.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot roll your thumb on that. You won't get anything off that way. So you basically have to really put the force in and tell it where you want it to go and really give it those defined movements. Otherwise, you're not going to pull off the combo. And that's what Carrie was doing. He's like,
Yeah.
I press down. Then I go down, left or whatever, and then to the right or left. And he was telling us how he does it. And I'm like,
it's like, what's your guys' problem?
I know you
I like
there's
that.
no
I don't like
problem. It's like
fighting
this
games
is a
that
great,
way.
this is a good D-pad. I'm trying to look for the clip.
oh, that clip was great. That was funny.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
It
look-
was interesting because they raised the points on the plastic for the D-pad, and
Yeah.
that was, I think they were thinking that would be enough to help the D-pad get that movement, and it actually didn't really do much for it. Instead, it just like Russ was saying, it just makes it much more painful to pull off any kind of combos with it.
But when you're just switching weapons, it is an improvement because it's easier to
Mhm.
find north,
Right.
west, and east, and
Right.
south, that kind of stuff. And so it does make it easier for most gamers. So I don't want to like overplay the pain part of it, because if they had anything but Street Fighter 6 as the #1 showcase game, I think most of us would have just been like, oh yeah, it's a good D-pad, but I bet you it's not going to be great for fighting games, as opposed to us saying this is a bad D-pad because it doesn't work with fighting games.
Well, Russ,
So
here's
totally
you.
different thing.
So here's you using the D-pad.
You can like literally see it hitch up.
There.
Carrie's gonna steal it from you because I want to see him use the thumbstick.
He's gonna just
I want to see him
Let's
use
see.
the
So
D-pad.
Russ Hadoukens versus Carrie Hadoukens.
I want to watch this. Oh, dude.
His finger is jumping between the
Yeah.
Oh, you're actually,
sides. He's not sliding at all.
No, he's not sliding. I'm like,
you're a pick up and lift kind of guy.
Yeah, I'm being precise with where I want to put my thumb.
Yeah, but isn't that work?
Well, when you're like,
that-
the game's made for a lever.
You want to slide? It feels good.
You're talking about making videos?
Right.
See, he's got gamer's thumb too. I can see that. Look at that. It's like perfectly.
What do you think, Russ?
I recognize game. Game recognizes game, but I'm not changing the
We are not playing Carrie as Street Fighter. Somehow he's like the
I mean,
master of this game.
I'm just. I'm like. So I'll go like
literally
this.
doing the input.
Bob, what do you think about all this?
I'm just doing it fast.
I think he's a weirdo, and I think we're all normal.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
They
That's
decided to make the D-pad for the one guy, and not for the every guy.
It's a conspiracy. Carrie's been in pockets of big handheld since the beginning.
Big D-pad.
I want to
Big
know what
D-pad.
big D-pad is paying.
Yeah, the big in big D-pad there.
But
Man,
I do agree with Russ. Like, I mean, the focus of a device like the Claw 8 is going to be the more modern games. I mean,
yeah,
obviously, demoing Street Fighter probably wasn't the best choice, but in general, games that are focused on that left analog stick are probably what you're going to be playing on a device like this. So the D-pad is kind of the afterthought, and it's used for what it needs to be used for in terms of just like secondary inputs. But it's perfect for that, essentially. I mean, it'll be fine for that. I think most won't probably think of it too much. But I do want to see them improve it just a little bit, you know?
Yeah. The way I see it, if you've got $900 to spend and you want the best Street Fighter experience in the world, we can come up with a list of how you can spend that $900 in a better way than buying the MSI Claw 8. You know what I mean? Ow!
Yeah, it feels like stubbing your toe. Yeah, spending $900 on a handheld.
Ow!
That's Street Fighter.
Yeah.
There was one point we were talking, and I had brought up, and I even brought this up to the MSI reps, that probably one of the best use cases for this particular handheld is RPGs.
Yeah,
because those are soundtrack heavy, and you know the Claw's going to have the audio capability for it, and you have the bigger screen, which means you're going to be able to see menus, you're going to be able to select magic or items or whatever and all that. And I think that's going to be one of the best use cases. But, you know, Bob had turned around and said, you're going to go out and buy a $900 RPG machine?
That's fair. Yeah. I mean, you
what
about any game, really, though. You know,
You could.
like, are you going to spend $900 on this any sort of genre? It's just a high price. That's what it comes down to. You know what I mean? And that's
I
really
actually
hard.
told them at the MSI event. I said the biggest issue with the first gen Claw, outside of other things, was really the price. I mean, you looked at that device and you looked at everything else that was on the market, and the question is, why would I buy this one over all the other options? And unfortunately, it's kind of the same thing again. You have a $900 price tag, and you have tons of options on the market that are all less than this device. And so price will definitely be a huge factor in terms of the success of this device.
But then, like, look at the MSI Claw now, going for like 400, you know, 350 in some cases. At that point, does it now become more enticing? And is that going to happen to the Claw 8? Is it like going to be great in 6 months as opposed to now?
We'll see with those Intel updates. I know they said they were updating drivers once a month, and you know, we'll see. We'll see. I know already that you're not getting full compatibility with your game library with Lunar Lake here, but I would suggest, you know, watching. There's a couple of videos out there, including one now from Mikulov. So TeamRetrogue, you have one out now. So after this podcast, everybody go check out his video. I even hear that it has some fun additions, some fun extra elements.
There's a cameo.
Oh, there is. Can I share
cameo?
Can I share a preview?
In my video. Yeah, you could share the intro.
Okay. All right. This is good. Let's see. Did we get this? Ah, here it is. Yes. All right. So here's a little preview, a little taste of TeamRetrogue's video.
So just hold it up to my ear?
Yeah, just like this.
And just dance?
And then just dance.
So I just dance like an idiot?
You gotta feel the music, man. Feel it tingle in your hands, the sensation as it goes to your ear canal. Top to bottom, we don't stop. Just get that awesome speaker. Just like this, man. Do you wanna try it? No, you are all wrong. There's no saving you, but at least you can still play games, right?
This is a game thing?
He plays games, plays video games.
I'm gonna go play some games.
That's good.
So go watch the man's video. Thank you for pulling me into that skit. You're like, hey, you had just finished. By the way, thank you for filming my entire video. By the way, you were over my shoulder with my equipment, like filming overhead for me, like being my.
Oh no, we were just like helping each other out that whole day. We're like, Stubbs, come here. I need to film this. Come here. And you're like, McLeod, come on. I gotta help it. Let's go do this. We were alone in a room together for an hour, we're concerned that they.
Oh, were you now?
Yeah, and people kept wandering in, and they're like, "Oh, my bad," and I'd stop in the middle of the take, and I'm like, and then we keep going. So we filmed my content, and then we did your content,
Sure,
and then you're like, "Hey, let's do this."
MSI
little
rep
skit.
went in right in the middle of that dance.
Yes, she did. Yes, she definitely. She definitely walked in.
Like,
to
what
the
is
middle of that
happening
dance.
in here?
She didn't ask questions. She was like, "Oh, okay, all right. Oh, YouTube creators. Okay, yeah, you're just doing that stuff. Okay." Didn't ask any other questions. She was very nice, but that led perhaps to this expression on her face when we took our photo not too long after that. She was like, "Yeah, here we go." There's everybody we have, and ETA Prime there. He actually ended up taking my thumbnail, and I was like, "Okay, it's a cool." The YouTubers get together, and we collaborate, and it's fun getting everyone together like that in that environment. But then you guys shifted into pulling pranks. And on old Stubbs here, and it was prank after prank after prank the entire trip. And but I appreciated them, and I definitely was like, okay, that was good. The first one was, I can't even say them all on air, but there was a list of movies that showed up on my room charges, and it was a very convincing invoice that showed up under my door.
It was a team effort.
Rob,
That was a team effort.
You and Mikhailov and ETA Prime got together like midnight after I got to sleep, giggled like you do. You found a hotel printer. You took the time to get
and a printer with Word.
And you asked the front desk for official letterhead so you could print off an actual invoice, and you came up with Rob came up with a bunch of very creative movie titles. And it said that I owed the hotel $450, and I was like, "What?" I woke up in the morning and I saw it on the door, and I was like, "Oh, that's my bill for like drinking a water or using the internet." I was like, "What? What?
Oh, you
what?
used
What?"
the internet, all right, Stubbs.
So if you want to see that, it's actually I shared it one place. It was in our Owl chat. So if you're a Patreon member or anything, in our private Discord chat, I did share that video of my reaction to that. Don't watch it though; it's horrible.
Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think I would get to troll you, Stubbs, with Mikhailov and ETA Prime in person. It's unbelievable.
I will say they showed it to me, and you know me, I'm like the big brother figure, so I'm like, oh, I can't let this happen to Stubbs, right? But I looked at it, and the moment I looked at it, I was like, well, okay, you guys spelt the hotel name wrong, and I was like,
yes,
on
purpose.
Sees that, right?
Yes.
And I was like, because if I saw that in 1 second, then hopefully he'll find it in the first 5.
I never found the spelling error. I was too distracted by the creative names that Rob and Mikhailov had come up with. Rob was so proud of himself the next day at breakfast. He was so proud of himself.
He actually convinced me not to put the logo on because it would look too real.
Okay,
that's good. So there's a fine line.
Yeah, apparently putting the actual logo of the hotel was crossing the line.
Well, in LD, yes, I probably did deserve it. You know what? I had earned that one.
He deserved it every
time. But I laughed at it.
Guy.
I did ask, the front desk, is this just in case? I know this is probably a silly joke, and don't be alarmed, but has this ever happened to your guests? Is this a real charge? No, absolutely not. And of course, I texted my wife, my dear wife, and I said, what do I, this is just in case you see any weird charges. Everything's fine. There's this pulling a funny joke, and she was like, seems like you're having a good time down there.
She also said that it seems like your selection of movies, your kind of your go-to type of movies there.
Yeah, she was like, seems like right up your alley. And I was like,
He was watching movies in his sleep.
She was having fun, and then I turn on, everyone's in on this. All these guys are in. The entire group's in on it. And I'm like, what? Just me? Okay, all right.
Well, ETA Prime was
a master pranker.
He was tearing, imagining you taking this fake bill and going up to the front desk with it, and he just went into tears.
He told us he couldn't sleep. Like, just thinking about it, he actually never got sleep because that's all he could think about.
I didn't actually go up to the front desk though. That would have been too much satisfaction for ETA Prime. I couldn't give him that in the end, but I almost did. I almost called them. Guys, and then it didn't stop, and then it was like the next thing. What was the next thing? Oh my god.
We can't talk about it.
Oh right, that one. Yeah. And we're at Disneyland, and then you're all of a sudden caught in some sort of murder mystery plot. Like, I don't know what's going on. You're trying to meet a celebrity, and then some lady falls off into the water, and you're detained, and then I get a picture of you in handcuffs. And I'm like, what is going on? And that one I knew. I was like, this isn't real. No, there's no way that sweet Mikhailov would ever be so blinded by celebrity that he would run across the street, accidentally knock a lady off a bridge at Disneyland into the water, and and then be in jail. Like, in security guards, like, it'd be actual police. It wouldn't be Disney security like ETA Prime kept saying. So I'm like, okay, you guys are pulling over, but I got you now. And Rob, you cracked, and Mikhailov, you smiled in the middle of telling it to me, so I knew.
I did. Knew. It was just I couldn't take myself seriously.
The funny thing about ETA though is we went out to dinner right before we pulled the prank on Stubbs, and ETA is telling a story to me. He's trying to prank me, and he's telling this story with so much passion, and
How did he tell it to you?
He was. I mean, I can't even get into it because I don't know if it's okay for this show, but
oh no,
the way he's telling it, and the facial expressions and the conviction that he had, and he's trying to get me in on this, but I'm like, no, you can't fool me. I'm from Brooklyn. I see through all that. And so he knew he couldn't get me, and that's when he said, okay, you know what? Let's go get Stubbs. And that's when that all happened that same night.
You guys had a lot of fun. And
he's not here to defend himself at CES. We need to get him.
We need to get him. Yeah. ETA Prime. Listen, man. Gauntlets thrown down. We're about to do a little. We're coming for you with those pranks, so you better watch out. You don't know where it's going to come. Could be day 1, could be day 5, could be in the morning, could be at night, could be in a bush, could be near a tree, could be on a plane, could be near. No, won't be on a plane. They'd arrest me for sure. Okay, well that's good and everything. What else do we have to talk about today, Rob?
I mean, what other handhelds did you guys get to look at while you were all away from me?
Well, we looked at each other's handhelds, basically.
We did, actually.
So
you know what's funny?
Yeah.
I think almost all of us brought, of course, our Steam Decks with us, which I guess wasn't too much of a surprise.
I didn't.
I brought my Steam Deck and my SP, my TrimUI brick, and Pocket Evo.
The funny thing is, I brought my Steam Deck, I brought the Claw, and then I brought my GPD Win. My GPD Pocket 3, and I used none of them on this trip. I didn't play any games.
Me neither. We were too busy. I was too busy getting pranked.
Yeah.
I brought the Claw, my ROG Ally, which I actually did play 2 hours on the plane, and the Pocket Micro, which I never touched. And I only brought the Ayaneo Flip DS to show to Rob, because he had never held one before.
You didn't even touch your Pocket Micro. Why did I send it to you?
Pocket Micro.
And now the 34XX is coming out. Why did I buy it from you?
I think
he knew. Ban knew all along. He knew.
He did.
I'm in the pockets of big Anbernic.
Oh yeah.
I played my Steam Deck for all of, 5 minutes before falling asleep one night, and I think I played a little bit of Nine Souls. I think it was that cat game. It's an indie game. Anyways.
Yeah, Tech Mommy said I fell asleep before
Soul 9,
which is very unusual for me. So I was beat. That trip definitely was tiring.
We were go the whole day, and we didn't realize it until we laid down.
SOLS, Nine Souls. Am I saying it wrong?
Souls, like sons, I guess.
Souls, yeah, like
lives, yeah.
Like
all right.
SOULS, yeah.
I get it because it's about a cat. All right.
Yeah, I brought a bunch because I wanted to do size comparisons there, because I learned from the ROG Ally X event, because they didn't have the original Ally, so I brought my old, so it's like I knew to bring a bunch. So I brought my MSI Claw, my white Steam Deck, my ROG Ally X, and then to actually play on, it was I used the GPD Pocket 4, which I've been working on for a video, which is like a little laptop thing. It was really great on a plane. And then my TrimUI brick, and that's what I mostly played.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was yours or someone else's who had the Pocket 4 out, and I ended up playing with that a little bit, and it's kind of cool, but I almost snapped the screen right off. I think it was yours. That's right, because you looked
It
the
was
most nervous when I was maneuvering it.
That sounds about right.
And luckily, you're like, okay, now just turn it gently. Okay, all right. I thought it just turned, but you had to like spin it, so it was good. But that seemed cool, and you also brought the cat's out of the bag, everybody. But Russ did bring the portal, so we swapped. We didn't swap. He just left me alone with the portal unattended.
Yeah, so AYN, they sent that one over to me. It was like a CNC version, which is non-final version, and they said I have to send it back. And then once I was done with the video, I said, hey, I'm going to see Stubbs in a couple days. Can I just hand it off to him and then he'll send it back? And they said, fine. And so I brought it to California and just handed it off to Stubbs because I knew he had the Pocket Evo. And so I was like, oh, it's great. He can do a comparison and stuff. And I should be getting an Evo at some point, but it'll probably be a few weeks. So, yeah.
So the gauntlet's been thrown down. So it's on me to try to do a very techie video. So we'll see. But I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to fully evaluate it. And we're going to take a look at it just for a few moments tonight as well, if you want to ask any initial questions, because the video will probably take me a lot of this week to kind of put together and everything. So stay tuned for that. And I'm going to try to see. I'm going to see if I can send it to one more YouTuber before it goes back to AYN. And it could be Rob, could be Caleb. I don't know.
My Pocket Evo is actually going to be here tomorrow. I couldn't believe that they.
Oh wow!
And that's the one. That's the one I purchased, and I can't believe that it shipped so fast. I wasn't expecting it for a while because I thought they were shipping the Retro Power colorway. So I'm like, cool. But I got to hold Stubbs's Pocket
you used
Evo
the Evo a little bit.
Yeah, and I like it. I like it in person. I was kind of surprised by it, so I kind of excited to mess around with it a little more.
Yeah, I got to hold them both in person as well, and honestly, I think I like the Evo better, which is weird because AYN usually wins me over.
But also realize, before you take any final thoughts on it, this is a early unit, and I can tell a lot of it's not finished as far as the buttons and the D-pad. So that's and the sticks, right? So and the shoulders. None of these are quite done yet, but the screen appears like it's done in the shell, right?
Yeah. Not the shell, but the screen's definitely, and the internals, sure.
That screen is wild on there. I mean,
it is good.
It looks like it was just photoshopped on there. I mean, it's so sharp and crisp. It's just amazing.
And they have an ergo bump now that they've released, or that they're going to be selling as well, I saw. So that's going to be really nice. So that might come in more in line with, so far as ergonomics goes, along with the Pocket Evo. But yeah, we'll take a look today and make a video on this one. And I got to talk to AYN and see if they're cool. Yeah, maybe one more YouTuber. I don't know who, but maybe we'll do some sort of fun determining method there. Okay. Yeah. So what else do we have going on? GPD Win 4, we talked about that. No, we haven't yet. We're about to. Okay.
We're about to.
Yeah, that's right. We were talking about the Pocket, the Pocket 4, which has the same chipset, the 370 in it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like GPD is just continuing to do refreshes of all their product lineup with the latest AMD.
Which I really like that, actually.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
It's way nicer to just say, we know what to expect hardware-wise, but now there's something just a little bit more powerful if you haven't gotten in on it yet.
I always liked the GPD Win 4. This is one of my favorites, one of my first Windows handhelds, and I like that they keep updating the product line. In the end, for my eyeballs, I don't like the smaller screens as much these days, but man, this was a cool slider. And it likely still is. I don't think it's one I would back at this point, but I think that a lot of people are going to be happy with the performance gains you get out of Strix Point. The prices are a little bit higher if you're talking about getting that 370 chipset, though. So $1,100, $1,172.
Oh. Which has been, it seems like the same thing across the board. Depending, it doesn't even matter what a manufacturer it is. It just seems like I haven't seen anyone.
If you want that chip, you got to pay a lot. Yeah. It's expensive. And the thing is that this probably is the best marriage between chipset performance and efficiency and shell. And that's the thing, because I have the first Win 4, which was a 6840U or whatever it was, and I don't play it much just because it's kind of an aging chip at this point. I've got other things I can play. But putting that Strix Point in there is going to really, like, you'll be able to play really demanding games at lower TDPs because that's a very efficient chip. And so that's going to be great with that thing. And I never really minded the smaller screen because I like, a really small handheld, but the thing I liked about that too is you could slide the screen up and it kind of felt like playing a clamshell. And so you can make it a little bit closer to your face. And so that was always something that I really enjoyed. And so, I'm kind of tempted by this one, like I bought that first one. And I'm at that point where if it wasn't so expensive, all the Strix Points are so expensive. But I think this is going to be that best marriage that I've seen with the Win 4. Like, of all the times to get it, and if you can afford it, this is the one to get.
Yeah.
That's kind of the cool thing too, is that at least, we've had a couple of iterations of the Win 4. So if you really like that Win 4 form factor and you want the latest and greatest, you put the money into that. Whereas, maybe you don't like let's say the 1X Fly form factor. And so you're not going to maybe spend that kind of money on something like that. So it is nice that they're keeping the same shells and the same form factor. And, you can just buy into whatever one that you like the most. Because, they are pricey. So.
And it's it's one of the only handhelds that have kept the OcuLink port. A lot of them have been getting rid of it. Even GPD, they got rid of it with the Win Max 2, I think. It's crazy. They're getting rid of them. And this would be a perfect mix because this one is going to run on just standard AMD drivers, which means that you can plug it into basically anything that supports OcuLink. It's just going to work. And so, it's very hard to find something like with Strix Point and OcuLink like this. That's a really good marriage there.
Yeah, GPD makes nice stuff. I really like a lot of their products that they come out with.
I've never owned one. I'd love to try one out one day, but
I think I definitely need to get something too.
Did they say something about the heat dissipation actually being improved in this model? I thought I saw something in.
They have to with that.
Yeah, one of the parts of the page that you saw. Yeah, right there. Go up.
With the Strix Point, they would need to.
Yeah, right there. Heat dissipation. Yeah, because I remember seeing a lot of reviews where that was a sticking point, is that it just gets hot, and it's
mine definitely got warm.
But
I think the worst one out of all of them was the Win Mini. The Win Mini, I could feel the heat coming through the analog sticks. And that's after the Fox went back and they revised the back shell and all that stuff. So you still could feel that heat coming through the front, and it's just there's definitely a limitation of that size and that form factor, but it will be interesting to see how they handle the heat for the Win 4.
Yeah, this seems like a solid option. I've been testing out a Strix Point laptop recently.
Nice.
What was it, the Zephyrus, and it pumps. It's crazy, but the price is kind of out of my reach, I think, in the end, and so I ended up trading that for a Lunar Lake, which isn't that much cheaper, but with at least with the Lunar Lake, you get crazy good battery life. So it's going to be really this generation, the Lunar Lake versus the Strix Point, and where they kind of land. And I'm still trying to figure that out. So I got to figure out, when I get the Claw 8 review unit in, how that stacks up. So maybe I should back a Strix Point thing here, but also no, it's just too much. I got to talk to GPD or somebody and see if we can get a couple testers in or something. No, you go first.
No, you go first.
Dan, are you gonna? I feel like you're. I feel like I've.
He wants to say something, but he's
and I know.
reserved.
You can see that there's so many of us in the episode, and I know that you weren't there in Disneyland with us, so you're not part of the jokey jokes. But feel free to just come bashing in to the pod, take over the show. Ban's in charge of the show now. In fact,
no, don't put me in charge of the show.
Don't put Ban in charge of anything.
Let us know your thoughts. I know you had. I saw thoughts brewing.
I believe in Ban. I think he can do it.
No, trust me, I got nothing in me right now.
I didn't mean to go all dead air there. I've never owned one of these, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
What I can contribute.
When you get what is it, 5 of us on the same show? Yeah, we all don't want to walk.
We're all trying to be
each
polite.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
This is the wrong show to be polite on. This is the show where we kind of bash against each other a bit. and it's fun. It's all in good
We're,
sport.
we're past politeness. We know what kind of movies you
We're
watch.
past
Stubbs,
politeness.
so-
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Gosh.
So I will say one thing. Somebody asked in the comments, like, what I think about the Pocket Evo, because I didn't mention it. But so I am not a huge fan of the Ayaneo 2 ergonomics, and I tested several of those that had that same shape. The Ayaneo 2, the 2S, the Evo, or not Evo, Geek, right? They all are the same kind of feel, same kind of buttons and everything. Great sticks, and everything else is just like a little bit off for me. The D-pad doesn't have pivot. The paddles on the back are just too big. The face buttons are kind of hard and like flat, you know. This one felt like they had improved a lot. Like the D-pad still felt the same, and I have to test that, you know, with the actual games and stuff. But the paddles are a lot smaller because the device is smaller, because it's not a 16:10 aspect ratio, and so it's a more compact handheld compared to the ones that I was expecting, you know. And I didn't really think that through. You know, the transition from 16:10 to 16:9 makes it a smaller handheld by quite a bit. And so with the original one, the ergonomics never really fit, where I was just like, this thing is like big and weird and unwieldy, and it's just like, it's got all these curves, but these curves don't work for my hands, you know. This one does. And so I am actually very interested in testing this out and really getting my hands and trying it out and stuff, because I do feel like it actually is, they actually kind of got the ergonomics right in terms of the shape and how it feels. I got nitpicks. If you just look at it right there, I think that the analog stick and the D-pad on the bottom need to be a little bit more inset. You know, all those typical things that I always wondered about, you know.
The one thing immediately drove me crazy about it when I had it in my hand was the start and select. It just confuses me. I can't deal with it.
I really wish Ayaneo would stray away from that and just put them where we're used to them being.
Yeah, it drives me crazy because I had held your portal, and then I went to that, and I was just like, "What's happening here? I don't know what I'm doing."
Yeah, how do I pause? Like, you shouldn't have to. That's like something we used to say in like the 90s. Like, how do I pause? You know, but now we're past that.
Who changed my name to businessman?
I think I'm pretty sure Sony did that.
Has it been the whole episode? A couple of weeks ago? It's been.
I was tech daddy for a bit too.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it was like the whole episode.
Okay.
But it was crazy because having the Evo and the Portal in hand, and I'm thinking to myself, and I think I probably mentioned that at the event, it was just, it's kind of wild that we have these two handhelds that are both really amazing. I mean, the Evo is quite amazing, and so is the Portal, and it's just, what a time to be in this space, really, is what I was thinking.
Now looking at them like that, like, yeah, I'm starting to question which one I want too, because like, I really liked the feel of the Evo in the hands, but then the Odin has front-facing speakers, and I love front-facing speakers, so it's like, why if we were to take these two and just mash them up, we'd probably have the one.
Yeah. So Tim, to answer your question about if I think the Evo is the best that Ayaneo's put out, I still think the DMG is the best thing they've ever made. Like, that thing, it's so expensive, it's so ridiculous, but it is so good. You know, this, we'll see. I need to test it more. I think that this will probably be the best Android streaming experience that also has like a really good gameplay experience too. So it's like, you know, it's like the Logitech Cloud was like, oh, this thing is great, but you know, the screen isn't the best, and you know, the controls aren't the best, and it doesn't actually play anything past PSP very well. Whereas this one can do all of that. And so that's what I'm really interested in. I've always felt like the Portal was going to be that guy, but those ergonomics let me down just a little bit. And so, yeah, we'll see. Full-size analog sticks is going to be really good. So we'll see. I had to get it. I needed them in the studio to really kind of make any definitive statement, but they're both pretty exciting in that larger Android space.
I was going to say, I knew that cheat cloud. It was being held up in the background.
Yeah.
You want a backband?
No.
I think we can do our surprise unboxing after this, actually, because it'll be a little bit related. But yeah, I'm excited. I have purposely not dived into this yet. I kind of want to save my full thoughts, you know, when I actually start recording. You know, I felt a little bit at the event, but I guess I'll share with you all here. We're all here together. We're all friends.
Wait, we are?
Yeah, some of us, I suppose so. I don't know, Rob and Mikhailov and ETA Prime, you're on my list now, but I don't know. Gonna have to get you back. But it's an interesting prospect. I've been used to the very comfortable ergonomics of the Ayaneo here. However, these do have the same screen, it turns out. Just they're a little bit clocked a little bit differently, right? So this has 165 hertz VRR. This one goes up to 120 hertz VRR, but apparently it's the same panel at the end of the day. And so they're just a little bit different there. But they've managed to do more in a smaller form factor here, it seems like. So it has a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 versus a Snapdragon 8 G3X Gen 2, which, Russ, and I'll just show my lack of knowledge here, but is it is the G3X Gen 2, do you know, is it a overclocked Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 or Gen 2?
It's a Gen 2.
It's a Gen 2. So it's just
I
like
wanted to say, but I was
Gen 2. Yeah.
Okay. So the G3X, that's confusing naming structure though, because the G3X Gen 2 is overclocked 8 Gen 2, but then the G3X Gen 3 is going to be an overclocked 8 Gen 3, right? And then you have this new 8 Elite.
I don't think that one has been announced though. The G3X Gen 3 is not a thing right now.
When I looked up the technical differences between the chips, it seems like there really isn't one other than a little bit higher clock boost. But unfortunately, because it's a lesser supported chip, what that means is that I found that Android games on the Evo are not fully compatible. And so there's games like Wreckfest and Balatro that just don't
really
work on here.
interesting.
They just showed you can't play it, but on the Evo, or sorry, on the Portal, it should be fine. I mean, these are very similar in a lot of ways. In fact, Bob Wolf even took a look at them in person. He was like, hey, they're the same thing. And he made a tweet about it too.
Yeah, the thing is that the G3X Gen 2 it's basically an 8 Gen 2 with they've just marketed it as being a gaming one. It's like how the Razer Edge was like a gaming version of, I think, the 865 or the 888 or whatever it was. And so it's very similar to that. But the thing is, the only devices with the G3X Gen 2 are the 3 Ayaneo devices, the Pocket S, the DMG, and now this one. And so support is just all over the place compared to the 8 Gen 2, which has been used in a bunch of phones and tablets and all this other stuff. And so that's one of the things that benchmarks might give you, a different story, but actually playing these games is totally a different experience. And that's what I found just across the board. And so when I get both of these together, I'll definitely do some more in-depth dives. But for us as retro gamers and emulation guys and stuff, what it really comes down to is that often some games just don't work as well on the PS2 with the G3X Gen 2, and sometimes Switch games are all messed up too, like they don't work with the drivers as well. And so that's just kind of something to keep in mind, is that you might have a little bit more raw performance, but is it going to give you a better gameplay experience? And I've found that the 8 Gen 2 usually is just a more predictable chipset altogether.
So what's interesting about
has software jank that I'm seeing more.
I mean, Ayaneo and software jank are just synonymous.
So that's just upside down now.
Stubbs, try going into Force Landscape.
You unlocked a higher difficulty, that's why.
Oh, there it goes. Okay. So that's the thing, is that this hardware is so beautiful, and come on, dude. But they always have these funky little quirks, in these devices that can drive me nuts. Now I got to drive upside down. Come on. So while it's faster, this is a faster chipset, right? It's a little bit clocked higher.
I think something's going on with the rotation probably in Android, or there's some setting.
I know, but can I still win? Can I still win, Rob?
I believe in you.
You're doing a pretty good job playing upside down.
Yeah, you really are.
Right, hold on. Maybe upside down gaming is my niche. Hold on. This is a first.
So what's interesting about the G3X Gen 2 is that the guy behind the turnip drivers, Kimchi, he apparently has a Pocket S, I believe, and so he's been doing a lot of development for that chipset, which is interesting. So there might be some good maturity happening with the turnip drivers for it. So we'll see what happens long term, but there could be a case where it actually ends up being better than the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 in terms of just compatibility and support, at least for Switch emulation, things like that. But
yeah, and that's amazing work that he's even doing that. You know what I mean? But it is still also one man against the world, which is
100%
always a hard position to be in. So
It's amazing how helpful and useful those turnip drivers are, because I can't tell you how many times games would have graphical issues or just wouldn't even launch without those turnip drivers. So they are huge, especially on the lower power devices like the 865.
Yeah, totally. I agree.
Force landscape. Michaela was right from the beginning, by the way. That's
Oh, good.
Always is.
Always is. Yeah, man. I just appreciate you sending this over to take a look at. I'm excited to hear everyone else's opinions about these two. This is one I was really, really, really hyped on, and then when I got used to the ergonomics of the Evo, I love that. Although this isn't bad ergonomics, it's just a little more. It feels more like an RP5, I suppose, to me. Whereas this one feels much more like a claw style, where it's kind of large and comfortable, not nearly as small and compact. And so this one, they fit the same size screen in a more compact body. And you can kind of see here.
Yeah, a lot thinner.
You know. And I'm not going to really comment yet on the buttons because these aren't final, but of course they're not good yet. There's just the basic idea, and you know already what those Odin D-pads feel like and what the face buttons are. And so these are just sort of basic ideas and estimations. The joysticks feel pretty final to me, but
do we know what their updated schedule is now? I mean, because obviously this is not going to happen this month. So do we have an idea of when they're expecting to start rolling out retail units, or at least a little more production ready review units?
I haven't heard anything official. They've always been saying that these will come out in December, so I'm assuming that's like the 31st. But yeah, who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if it's sometime in January. You know?
Yeah.
These both have AM OLED screens, right? So they're both just beautiful, and we're so spoiled now. And I'm trying to sort of get in that mindset.
We really are. Yeah, we really are.
It's just so pretty. And yeah, G Cloud owners, you know, I think for streaming, like Russ was saying, you might have a really good option here. And you can do your PS Play, and you can do your Xbox and Android games, of course. And I really, if you want compatibility and software that just works and you're going to rely on it, I think that the Portal right off the bat, as you already saw here, there's just going to be a little bit more compatibility and stability, I feel like. But you are going to get with that a little bit less performance. And that's really the big thing. So many other factors are very similar. You both get RGB lighting, you get similar styles of buttons. These are a little bit smaller size. Joysticks are nice and comfy on this, and they're a little bit smaller on this. A D-pad, I think that Odin is going to win, you know, when we get the final unit. And the shoulders, I think they're solid on both, honestly. I think they're done very well on both. These ones are more comfortable, but they're also much bigger, and so you're going to get more of that bump out. They're more full-size controller, where this gives you more the idea of like, oh, this is actually an Android handheld. This is very much, and it's like the RP5. Where's my RP5? This is
the way I see it. Yeah, the way I see it too with the Evo in particular. So two things. Number one is that like I think that those sticks and everything else, like as soon as I held it, I was like, I want to play streaming Ghost of Tsushima over Moonlight on this thing. Be able to walk around the house with a lightweight handheld that feels comfortable and be able to play modern games on it, as opposed to using a handheld PC, which is going to be, you know, almost twice the weight by comparison, you know. And so you're going to get that really great kind of mixture experience. It does require you to have a PC that you can stream from, but most of us have that, you know. And so that was something I was really looking forward to. And then another thing, I've had a couple comments I've seen that say they're asking about input lag. And I think both of these, and having 120 hertz and 144 hertz screens, I don't think input lag is going to be a big deal. It's still Android, so you still have that kind of bump to work with. But I think that that's really an option right there too.
You loaded Win later on here, Russ.
I did. If you actually go, I actually kept everything on there. So if you go,
I was going to say Stubbs. Did you put Win later on there?
No.
Go into Windows Start. You actually, I loaded up Fallout 3 on there. My save game's still on there. I put everything on there. This is actually like I didn't wipe it. So
I saw that. Thank you. Look at this.
Edition, you can actually go through
games and
some games on there,
emulators and
all configured.
ESDE. What in the world?
Watch, it's got everything on there. Everything's already configured.
So
like it's ready for just somebody to enjoy. And so
it's got everything but onions.
Yep. Yeah. So I just left it. I was like, well, I think I signed out of Google, so you can't like buy stuff. But otherwise, yeah, you've got everything.
Well, you're doing better than Stubbs, at least. He leaves everything logged in.
You know what? I know sometimes I'm bad about that. I'm too trusting. You know what we should do though? I don't know, guys. I'm almost thinking about doing a live stream, a dedicated live stream to really dive into this thing this week. That might be a way to go. Over having people wait all week for me to edit, my best estimate at a deeper dive video. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in chat. Do you want to wait and get a more pretty video, or do you want to get more of a hands-on, demo and get your questions answered, where we really dive into what we can do? Especially since Mr. Russ Crandall here was nice enough to just get this loaded and ready to go. So.
Yeah, if you go into Windows starters, you minimize that. It's a pain to navigate, but you see that.
How do you even navigate here?
Just use your finger.
Oh,
okay.
Don't use that big old thumb you got. Use the
He went for it.
One finger.
Minimize that whole window. It's on the desktop, so you need to get behind it.
Oh, I'll get behind it. Okay. Give it.
No.
My fingers are huge.
No, use your finger. That you'll see the pointer dragging along.
Yeah, your finger is like a trackpad.
Yeah.
Think of the screen as a trackpad, and then you can move it around. You see a mouse. You see a mouse.
Oh yeah.
And then you move the mouse over. Then you just tap on the screen.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Fallout 3.
There you go.
I left some games on there that crashed just so you could see the experience of what happens. But yeah,
I'm so proud of him.
Thank you. I haven't used really Winlater before. I've installed it once for one of my videos for a moment, and I think I opened like Minesweeper or something like that.
Oh, of course.
It's going to eat the heck out of your battery, but otherwise it's fun.
Yeah, this blows my mind. Like full-blown PC games on an Android system.
Yeah, Fallout 3. That's from the GOG. No, discontinue. Yeah. It's offline, so it's not going to cloud save or anything. Look at that. You're in the town. I forgot what the name of that town is. Megaton.
Russ, do you like inverse controls?
I do.
Oh, no.
I'm from PS2 era. That's how I learned how to play FPS games. So Red Faction 2, stuff like that, they all were inverted by default. So that's how I learned.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that.
It's all right. I can do things upside down as we learned. We're good. We're good. Nice. This is running smooth, though. The fan's kicking on a little bit, but...
I think this is 1080p low settings, so yeah.
Yeah, this blows my mind. The fact
cool.
that this is where we at now in emulation. Like, we're emulating PC games.
And this is like the game of the year version of Fallout 3. So it's got all the DLC. Like, you could pour 80, 90 hours into this game right here. No problem.
Wow.
Incredible, man. This is, lighter weight as well compared to this. This has its weight in the grips. That's where most of the weight is. Where this is, the weight's a little bit more across the screen, I noticed. But it's nicely balanced. It feels lighter than the Odin 2 Mini, and it feels also lighter than the regular Odin 2 somehow, even though it's technically bigger. So how'd they do that? I don't know. It's not getting too hot either. This is not quite sealed in yet, but that's where
I forgot to tell you, I broke that.
Oh, okay.
I forgot to tell AYN as well. Whoops.
Okay, AYN, here you go. So just
it worked for the first day, and then I pulled it, and I broke it. So
hey, AYN, look what Stubbs did.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say.
Don't send that guy a handheld anymore. But no, man, this is really cool. I'm coming out of x86 mode this week. Coming back into Android to do this video, and I have been in my downtime just really, again, enjoying the Evo, and so I need to shift focus now and okay, what can we do here now with the Portal? Because again, we're looking at so much of the same. I think where this is going to shine is not only in that compatibility, like we were talking about, stability, and just a little bit more probably put together, while also being more compact. And streaming, I mean, this has Wi-Fi. Is this Wi-Fi 7?
Yeah.
Wi-Fi 7 on here. And I think we also have Wi-Fi 7 on the Evo, though. I got to watch my own video.
Both chips support that, yeah.
Yeah, so you ever do that? You ever like, what is that thing I need to know? Okay, and you did it once in one of your videos.
All the time.
Yeah. or reference it somewhere on your website. So cool. If you have any more questions, let me know. Let me know what you want to see from me for as far as content this week, and then I'd like to let this go to another tuber, or AYN might ask for it back right away. We'll see. But yeah, so more to come. There's streaming options in here. We got Android games loaded on, and we have a whole bunch of emulators. So I'm excited to play around. I'm gonna start on this tonight after the show, actually. So yeah, first thing, I got to charge it up though. Battery's getting low. Everyone was really enjoying playing with these at the MSI event. We felt a little bad, actually. Like, MSI is standing there in the room, and they're like, but what about the Claw? And we're all just geeking out over these Android handhelds. We're like, oh, right. Yes, that's right. We need to. Yes.
So this is you telling MSI, make an Android handheld.
Dude, make an Android handheld. Well, they would say, and I mentioned in my video too, it's like they have BlueStacks built in as an app into their launcher, like some customized version of BlueStacks. So it'll run Android games right on from the front end. But it wasn't quite ready for showtime when we were using it. So
weird.
It's on the app is on the original Claw. I actually have to fire it up and see if I can do some stuff.
Maybe it's worth messing with. I never mess with Android and Windows myself too much, and so it's like, yeah, I like purpose-built things, you know. So
me neither, because every Windows thing that Rob convinces me to buy somehow usually doesn't have Android support. Surface Pro 11.
Can't believe this.
You can thank Microsoft for that one. They said goodbye to that.
We can thank Microsoft for a lot of things.
You know what we won't thank them for is that new Lenovo Legion S. That's right. Lenovo Legion has a new S, and there's been leaks. So you want to take a look at this? So here's another Windows handheld for you. So this one looks nice and rounded, and it has two like honeycomb designs in the back for those air intakes. Front firing speakers, which is great. Oh yeah, and we talked about that too here. The Portal, I'm stoked that they have front firing speakers. I got to compare the sound quality. I wonder if the speakers are final. Anyways.
Yeah, I know we talked about this a little bit. What was it, last week that we spoke about it just a little bit?
Yeah.
I think this is interesting because of what their target price point is, which I think was supposed to be under 500.
And what's the news there? What's the difference from last week then to this week?
I don't know.
As far as
all I know is you put it on a list and I got it ready to go for you.
As far as I've seen, there hasn't been too much of a change to those like estimates last week, which honestly, if that's the case and it comes out that low, I probably will buy it like right away.
Andrew
I know it's the Z2, which is, I guess, it's a rebadge of an older AMD chipset, or it's based on older AMD tech. I forget which one. It was a Rembrandt band.
Say that again. Sorry.
So it's right here in the article, guys. Andrew just wrote it on our website here last week.
Andrew writes articles.
Yes, he writes our show every week. That is the tome of knowledge, and it launches alongside our podcast. So if you want to catch up on what's going on, even be more informed than our own hosts here, before we go. So the Z2 Go, paired with 16 gigabytes of RAM and 500 gigabytes of storage. This latest batch of leaks comes via Roland Quant of WinFuture, where they share some key specs. If the leaks are correct here, the Legion S will feature that 8-inch IPS display with 120 hertz refresh rate, relying on that Zen 2, the Z2 Go, paired with 16 gigs, 512. Whew.
So it's a Radeon 680M, so that's like your 7000, 8000 series CPU. So in terms of integrated graphics, that's fine. You know what I mean? It's going to work about at Steam Deck or a little bit better levels. I mean, that's what's in the original Legion Go. So as far as iGPU, but I don't know those cores. I don't know the CPU itself. So, but yeah, I mean, that looks like it might be pretty good. I don't know. Is it more efficient, less efficient? I don't know any of that stuff. So.
What's here looks nice. I mean, I got nothing that stands out to me that I would nitpick right now. I like that there's an optical pointer. I think that's great for just Windows navigation and whatnot. And I mean, it looks comfortable. I like full-size controls. I mean, everything here looks nice, and that price point definitely makes it stand out. So I actually want to know more about this. It's kind of interesting.
16 by 10?
It's an 8-inch, 120 hertz. I believe it's 1610. Let's
it looks like a 1610.
Yeah, let me see. I know it's
looks like a Legion, or not a Legion. It looks like a freaking Cloud, Logitech G Cloud. You know what I mean? Maybe because it's white and the black accents. But yeah, I like it.
It feels like a mashup of like a bunch of different handhelds that we've seen over the past couple of years.
Yeah, so that resolution tells me that it's a 1610. So yeah, so it's possible we're seeing this 8-inch panel now going to be sourced by other manufacturers that is going to be in the Claw. So
Yeah,
which is
right.
awesome.
That'd be nice.
That's not a bad thing. I mean, I
No,
know,
not at all. Not at all. Yeah.
I know it's not AMOLED, but an 8-inch 16:10 screen is a great screen to game on, especially in gaming.
Andrew says it's a 16:10 as well. And you know what? This is cool and everything, but I'm really stoked to hear news about a new Steam Deck personally. And supposedly, Valve is rumored to be working on a new, not a Steam Deck, but a new SteamOS device. So remember the Steam machine back years ago? Apparently, they're going to be making something again, like a mini PC, something like some sort of SteamOS device, alongside like a new headset, this Deckard thing, right?
Yeah, so I guess they're going to have a Steam machine with a new controller and all that paired with it. So it will be interesting to see them go back to that, kind of coming full circle with the hardware.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean, they got Steam Deck, right?
Yeah, there's really good, interesting discussions about the connectivity on these. Like, they're, I've seen things, people, thinking that maybe they're going to connect independently, kind of like how Stadia did, right? Is your controller connected to your Wi-Fi, not to the device itself, to make everything a little bit less latency. And so, it'd be really interesting. And I think a lot of VR things will probably be integrated in, because they kind of been going that route too. So
yeah,
interesting to see what they actually finally come out with when it comes to all this stuff, because we've just seen so many teases about this stuff for so long.
Yeah, nope, it's true. So we'll see what they bring to the table there. And Samsung as well, they're doing this new foldable phone, this foldable handheld. They've already done plenty of foldable phones, but they're actually supposedly getting into the handheld game. And this is just an early news here, but apparently Jukanlos Reeve hint. Samsung has recently begun developing a Vulkan driver for Linux for Eclipse, and Valve is preparing ARM support for SteamOS. So there you go. That could be nuts. So we'll see what they're doing.
There's just so much stuff cooking.
There's so much news and so much stuff cooking. Everyone's getting in, and 2025 is going to be nuts. I feel like for handhelds, we're going to be pushing to new levels, both Android and PC, and it's all converging, and it's all wow.
I think CES 2025 is going to be absolutely insane with how much stuff is going to be there.
And we'll all be there. We'll be there covering it.
Oh, yeah.
You'll hear from us. We'll be doing all the things again. Russ, are you excited for CES?
I am. I think that Lenovo that we just saw, I think that'll hopefully be there. Like, that's what I'm looking for.
I hope so.
On maybe with it.
And I think they have other products, so that's just one of their new handhelds that they're planning. So I will be interesting to see everything else they've got up their sleeves.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, the light and everything.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I'm just looking forward to this Barcade everybody keeps talking about.
Oh yeah, we always go to the Barcade. That's true. There's just a bunch of arcade machines, and they have beer and stuff, and music, and a jukebox, and emulation stations. Literally, like stations of emulation set up around. So it's fun. It'd be cool.
You guys think the Zotac Zone will make an appearance?
I hope so. I'd like to see the Zotac Zone take
What
off.
about the Acer Nitro Blaze?
I don't have high hopes. I don't have high hopes to see that one, unfortunately. But yeah, it'd be good to speculate. What will we see at CES 2025?
Yeah.
They'll obviously the Lenovo Legion Go, maybe the Zotac. We're going to see MSI there again. They're going to be launching their new laptops and their Claw. By the way, they I've been hearing a little bit of back and forth about that Claw. Some say it goes on shelves 12/26. Some say January 15th. I don't know which is the reality, but apparently in the US, their top level marketing or top level HQ person says it's going to be January 15th on store shelves for the US.
Have any of us gotten clarity yet? Because I haven't heard back yet. Have
Not
you guys
full
heard back
clarity.
yet?
Yeah, nothing yet. And if they had their product manager there and he's saying 12/26, then obviously there's some sort of wires being crossed within the company. So I can't say for certain which is which. I do know that pre-orders though are opening up anytime now, right?
They should
not-
be. They should have been.
They're
open
not live
every
as
day.
of today.
It was. They
I
said
went-
12.8 in the slide, but actually, if you looked at the slides, it said 12/B was the date.
Yeah.
So they labeled the names on the back, so the M1, M2 keys, the Marco 1, Marco 2 keys. I don't know who Marco is either, but
Polo.
yeah.
If I,
I guess we just gotta wait for 12B to come around. We'll see.
Yeah,
what
I would
happens.
say the 15th would probably be the best. Like, who's going to be like, oh, the day after Christmas, I want to go buy something for $900?
When I saw the date in the slideshow, I was just like, there's no way. There's just no way they're dropping this the day after Christmas. It just doesn't make any sense.
It's the perfect time to use your gift card money.
You need a whole lot of gift card money, though.
A whole lot of gift card money.
Asking everybody just for gift cards, guys. That's the plan.
Walk into Best Buy. You guys take Walmart gift cards, buddy? Chance?
Hey, the 15th is Todd's birthday. Happy birthday, Todd! Early.
Yeah.
Happy early birthday, Todd.
Hey, Todd. Happy
Oh, Todd, I
birthday,
got your package today, by the way.
You got your package.
He got it all right.
Oh, he got a package for him.
In Rob, you're so good at coming up with movie titles. So creative. So good.
Yeah.
Well, in other news,
I enjoy that.
Beyond modern gaming, there's also more coming in the world of retro handhelds, which actually is what this channel is about.
No way.
I know, right? Who would have thought it?
I feel like you guys need to change it to high-end handhelds. And
high-end handhelds. I was thinking like radical handhelds or something, so it could
Modern
still be RH. You know, but we are talking about a little slight change in 2025. Not ready to talk about it quite yet, but yeah, there will be a little bit of a potential branding change with how things are going. So we'll see. R36H. What in the world is this band? What are we looking at here, man? What is
well,
this?
I mean,
E-Waste
from what
of the week.
Yeah, it's e-waste of the week. From
It's an
what I can tell,
R36S.
it's basically an R36S but vertical.
And vertical.
Or not vertical, horizontal.
It's been candy barred.
Yeah, they put it on top.
They put this thing on top. $42. Did anybody order this?
Super low. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I've already seen this.
No.
I can't believe they put ArcOS in the description. That is so bad.
Oh yeah.
Crazy. You know what I mean? Like a custom firmware has gotten to the point now where it's in Chinese advertising for handhelds.
It's just like that's how they know that's what'll get.
It is.
I mean, you kind of know what to expect with like the R36S. You're probably going to get the same feeling of buttons on this one.
Yeah.
On the writing team, I know Nick ordered one.
Digital Jedi got one.
Yeah, he can blame someone other than me on this one. But I mean, the nice thing is that this is at least
2,500 milliamp hour battery. Jeez.
Oh, that's small.
Jeez.
All day battery life on that.
Isn't that about the same size as like the Pocket Micro battery though?
Oh. This makes me very sad, man.
It's usually they're now around 4,000, right? Is that what? they
Yeah,
are?
like
Yeah.
I remember like 3,500 was like the common number for a while.
I am not excited about this band. I'll be honest.
I think Rob has what this is basically like the direct competition to, and that's the O30S, whatever
Rob,
that is.
I heard you got that.
That's bad.
It's bad.
Don't even bother. Don't even bother.
Why are we even
where is
talking
it,
about
Rob?
these things, guys? Like, when is enough? Like, when
You
are we
put it
gonna...
on the list.
Rob,
Dude, I didn't put anything on the list. Andrew
pull-
writes the.
pull your
writes the
O30S
show.
out.
I don't even write the show anymore.
No, I don't.
I don't know what's going on.
You have the blue one.
You have it. You have
Yeah.
the O30S.
Yeah, like he's the reason I bought the orange one. Like,
Packaging look sort of familiar to another handheld we all love.
hey,
There
that
you go.
reminds me of the CB408 packaging.
Yeah, which reminds you of what other package?
Oh, the Trim UI package. Because it's
There you
purpose
go.
built. It's purpose
All
built
in its glory. The
imagination.
030S.
Also, I love you, Andrew. And the O30S, I did ask Rob to please bring on the show because I want to see what the heck this thing is.
So bad.
It's also
kind
a
of e-waste is it?
3326.
Look at this thing.
So
All
it's
right.
like the same thing as this, but like that's not a bad color.
No,
Yeah.
but this plastic. This plastic looks like it belongs on a $15 Famiclone. I mean, it's
It has stacked shoulder buttons. That's crazy.
These are awful too.
It
They're
does
like,
have stacked shoulder buttons.
It has
They're
a
like-
D-pad in the right place.
they're so thunky. I don't know if you could even hear that, but they're so funky.
I hear it.
You're not selling me on this thing. I'll tell you right now.
The screen is awful on this.
You know what? The bezels on it are huge.
The bezels are huge. Yeah, let's turn this crazy thing on. It's just.
How much does this cost?
It probably cost me. It probably cost me too much. Let's be real.
I think I paid about $43 for mine when I bought it last week on the show.
Oh no!
So the face buttons are actually kind of cool because they're like very smooth. They're still marked, but they have no like indentation for the letters. It's kind of neat.
Like,
is there a place for a USB? Like, is there how many USB ports you got there?
Here, I'll show you.
Micro SD.
on the
You get 2 USB-C ports. There's
Yeah.
almost space for you could store a dongle there.
You get your
Make a song about dongle towers for all the dongles for game controllers. Make a song about dongle.
God,
Anyways,
it scares me every
There's
time.
the top.
Oh,
Oh.
those. Oh, it's got
Oh,
all
those
games.
bezels.
Yeah,
Oh my
this
gosh.
screen is just awful.
So
I mean, this screen is just not.
wait,
good.
is this supposed to be a
Here's-
3.5-inch screen?
I don't know
Is
what
that
this
right?
thing is. It's just not good.
I didn't
doesn't
even
look
think
great.
about
It's just
that.
not-
Guys, there's too many options.
Yeah, it's just crazy how much stuff there's out there. Doesn't stand out in any way, honestly. I mean,
All right, well, okay.
I'm
I mean,
trying-
go for it. If you're banned, you're a masochist, and
Hey,
wanna
It might
torture
be his.
yourself.
Actually,
it might be
you
his
know?
perfect handheld.
You can get
right.
you can get this for as low as $37 right now.
I mean, it's got
Well,
3.5-inch
Basics.
display.
D-pad's actually surprisingly
It's
not
got a
terrible.
it's got a 3,000 milliamp hour battery.
Not too bad.
all right.
you can get 2 large pizzas for $37.
Ban.
Okay.
I
You
was
know,
just-
the thing is, though,
I love that
like,
song.
if this company, I don't know what their name is, if they just invented a time machine and then released this 3 years ago, we would have loved it.
We would
At
have.
that price point, we'd have been, holy crap, an RK3326 for $40 or whatever.
I don't know
that
who
would have
makes
been the
this.
handheld of the year.
Now we're all
That's good.
jaded by choice over
So-
here.
I
All
was
it
gonna
says.
say we have very different conversations now than we did 3 years ago.
It's very true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing these like O30s and R36Hs, they just remind just the build of them just remind me of the older like devices that we're all saying, yeah, this would be way better for the price, but
Right.
I can't help but still miss like the candy bar things, like the old style.
Right.
Because
The problem is they're releasing stuff that's been done already before. That
Right.
Like
exists
how
on the
many
market. So-
times?
Right, exactly. So how many times do we need to
Well-
see the same 3326 handheld? I mean, it's been done already. It's been done so many different ways. It's time to move on, So it's just
If you're
It's like-
interested in this R36H business, it's $37. And there are some coupon codes. I believe even our coupon codes are working again. So I need to talk to AliExpress
I'm gonna have to check.
and see because they have a new sale now that's going live. We're going to be doing another integration with them this month. So they're going to give us a new round of codes that I asked for RHH60 so we can get some of those RP minis for real cheap again. And we'll see.
I think they learned their mistake with that one.
And we'll see. But the point is that just maybe wait a few days before getting anything because we might be able to get you some good discounts. Probably
Yeah,
don't get this one. I don't know, guys.
Don't
I
get
know-
this one.
I know that Nick on our website is going to be writing an article about this. He loves game console. He is like our game console guy on our team. He loves this company and what they're doing. And he and there's a whole subculture who's just rallying around these. Even the R36S, there's a new one. There's an R36S Plus.
Yeah, because Pro was taken.
Because Pro and Max were taken, and it's basically a fixed version of the Pro and Max without the soccer balls and soccer fields. And did you see that one? There's like a little soccer ball in the middle and a soccer field in the middle of the handheld.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
It's the back was definitely more for Rob than anything, but
there are days where I think we're in the bad timeline, and then there are other days where I think we're in the best timeline. So I don't know where we are right now.
Yeah, we just have a lot of choice. That's all.
I think we're in the timeline where it's all happening at once.
And you have to realize, like, because of this show, we're exposed to so many more handhelds than I think we normally would ever think to look up or come across. Being in this niche, what we're doing, I think, and I see a lot of comments too. They're like, you know what, guys, like, you just don't buy it if you don't like it. It's cool for the audience, for people who are new to this, to see, like, okay, well, what's all the possibilities? Which you don't want to ask that question, because there's a spreadsheet out there and a good website now that kind of breaks down, you know, all the different things, and you can really get OCD on, like, okay, but I want a 3.2-inch screen, and I want, you know, I'll try to link those. But Time is Art is who makes that spreadsheet. But there's just so many handhelds, and so we've sort of now been in the trenches a couple of years. We've seen them all come to market. We've seen all the different options. We kind of know, okay, what's a good value, what's not. And I can tell you from looking at this, it's another option. The value is neither good nor bad. It's just sort of like, here's an option, and it might fit somebody's particular niche in their particular checklist, in which case, that's awesome. And I hope they did a good job in this handheld, but I don't think it's one I'll buy today. Maybe tomorrow.
Just wait, he'll buy it after the show. We'll just talk him into it.
Yeah, then I could be.
He's gonna find a coupon code that works in the border.
If you guys really want me to take a look at that and give my thoughts, I feel like I'll just.
So
I don't know. I can sometimes already tell when I really shouldn't even talk about something. You know, it's like
Yeah.
You see, a lot of these cheaper ones are they're nice presents. Like, you get one for cheaper than the cost of a AAA game. You put a bunch of things on them. You hand them to a brother or a sister-in-law, and to them it's magic, and to us it's like Tuesday.
Yeah. And then, you know, like 2 weeks later, they're going to call and say, hey, I broke the thing. What do I do now?
Yes.
Okay, send me your card. I'll fix them and send it back, you know.
Okay. So that kind of thing happened to me a couple of years ago when I gave my brother-in-law like a Pocket Go, like the V2 with the 3.5-inch screen. And I had that same experience. Hey, I lost the cap to my thumbstick. Where can I get another one?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's always funny with that stuff. And I always just go with MinUI, because that is really almost unbreakable as far as an operating system experience. And so it's partly why I did the video I did today. It was like a super simple tailored version of MinUI for the TrimUI brick, because that's what I've been working on lately. And really enjoy it. And it's kind of unbreakable.
I think I'm going to follow that guide for this brick, because I'm going to be giving this one to someone.
I want to check this out. And do you guys know too, and this pivots us nicely to the next topic, that Knulli actually has released a new version called Firefly that's in a pre-alpha state for the brick, and the Cube XX, by the way. So you can check this out, and the TrimUI Smart Pro apparently, but I think it was already on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great, and it's awesome that they keep pumping out updates like that, because Knulli is a great option. If you want something a little bit more visual, you know, like MinUI is super simple text-based, but if you're giving it to a kid who can't read, it's not going to be that great. So Knulli can be tailored in a similar way, but more picture-based, which I think is great too.
Yeah, and I like the look of it. It definitely it's one of the most attractive options, but I think my favorite right now is probably MuOS. It's much simpler, but man, I don't know. They just are nailing it, I think, on that OS right now for the XX line. So I'm excited to see that as well. But seeing on the TrimUI brick, I wonder if we could get MuOS on there. That's a whole different thing, right?
If you go to MuOS's website and you look at their future projects, they have the TrimUI Smart Pro listed. So if they can get that working on that device, then TrimUI brick is just inconsequential to kind of move it over. It's like a trivial change. And so hopefully, they will be able to add support. But I don't know. I mean, we're all just eating really good. Like all these custom firmware teams and everyone, we're like, it's just this community that's kind of been growing, and some of them die out and others come up, and it's just like wonderful how things just keep going. So yeah, I'm a block away. Michael Benny just asked if I'm near a police station. I'm a block away from a hospital down here, and so all day long I'm hearing ambulances, and I always try to cut that out of my voiceover. But if I'm recording, I got to stop, wait 2 minutes, then keep recording again. And remember what I said last sentence so that I don't, make something sound weird. But yeah, so I got ambulances over here.
Well, I guess now's a good time as well to take just a few quick questions before we talk about some more goodness. Digital Jedi, what device are you all looking forward to most? Oh man, I mean, I think the Claw 8, so I can get it in hands for testing. I'm very excited for that because it sounded so great and it looked nice. And also the finalized version of the portal here, the Odin portal. Yeah. Yeah, Russ, how about you?
Can I say nothing?
Sure. Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
So many good handhelds right now. I just want time. I like an example is, we all got our Retroid Pocket 5 review units, and they had all sorts of wonky issues with charging and stuff. And so then they released the final retail version of Android, and we all had to like flash it to the new one, and that wipes the device. And I had no time to actually put on to configure my 2 Retroid Pocket 5s again. So I just need time because I want to play my Retroid Pocket 5 again. And I've just been playing Rock Next because I can load that from the SD card. And so, yeah, I'm not really, I mean, there's some handhelds coming out and they look interesting, but I'm not looking forward to anything. I just want time to enjoy what I have right now.
I think that's the biggest problem with the Anbernic stuff. And I always say it on here. I mean, it's the same issue. It's just, I wish they would space the releases out. I build a community around their devices, and it's just, I never get that sense of community around Anbernic devices, because they just come and go so fast.
That's why the Miu Mini did so well. It's because it was just, that was the thing. It's like the Miu Mini, this is their handheld. It's from this company called Miu, and it's mini. Just buy that, and that'll take it. And it was like hard to get for like a whole year. You know what I mean? That kind of economy works so much better. They probably sold so many of those compared to all the Anbernics. And so that's what I'd like to see too. Give us
typically why I like the Retroid stuff, because, they do 1-2 releases a year, and you can build a community. You can put out lots of videos on the 1 or 2 devices, and it's just, I feel like it's so much better for our hobby as a whole.
Right.
Yeah, and I think from a reviewer standpoint, it's hard when you're getting like one device in every month. You finally get caught up with reviewing an Anbernic, another Anbernic comes in, and just me personally, I have like a list of videos on a document somewhere that I want to get to that I just can't get to because stuff keeps coming in.
Yeah, I feel that one, man. There's and it's end of year too, so we're wrapping up and finishing up some bigger projects like our best handhelds of 2024 videos, and all of our upcoming podcast episodes are going to be jam packed with best ofs. Next episode is Russ is going to be back with us again to do our best RK3566s of the year. I didn't even tell you guys this yet, I don't think. That Russ will be joining us, so we're going to be talking about that and the best controllers of 2024. The week after that, we're going to be talking about best handhelds with Bob Wolf of the year, and after that, it's the big giveaway and the New Year's Eve live stream and Game Awards. So it's going to be like, dude, this month especially is tough, at least for me, for content. I'm like, I'm a little tired.
That does remind me. Talking about the end of the year best handhelds and everything. The final round of RH's handheld of the year vote.
Yes,
just went live today as well.
Oh yeah, I need to add that to the description also, right? Where is that listed?
It should be in the weekly. Everyone gets the Retro Handhelds weekly thing pop up in their social media feed of whatever you're on.
So what's in the running for the biggest flop right now?
The biggest flop right now, there's 4 because I think it was really close on them. It's the Miu Flip never releasing. I believe the MSI Claw is on there. I just want to say that right now.
That's a crime. That's a crime.
It's also an accurate one.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
It's still not out.
Zoo and I are doing a best handhelds of 2024. We're having a battle. We're doing a collab video, the two of us, where here's my favorite, here's his favorite, and then it's just like, yeah, because we differ pretty hard on our list.
Okay. Here, I pulled it up so I could see the other two.
It's MSI Claw is not the biggest flop.
Well, I mean, compared to
nuts.
That'd be Dan's nut.
So
Span's nut singular, Rob. Now come on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sad news. So I did.
Must have been a slip.
Sad news. I did drop that nut, by the way. And I like cracked
Always
it.
dropping those nuts.
But no, the 4 flop of the year: MSI Claw, Miu Flip. Ayaneo Pocket Micro got way too many votes for what it is, but that's on the list. And then
All right.
the RG35XX 2024.
All right.
Which
yes, that was for sure.
That one
the
was
worst, but it was kind of a pointless release.
And I think that's probably why. It's just because it was such a nothing burger for everybody.
Now, what is this nothing burger I keep hearing about in the last 5 to 10 years? I cannot find this burger.
It's nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But every other main category that we've put out for the last 2 rounds, they all have the top 3, most voted for options, except for Android Handheld of the Year, where 3rd and 4th had the same percentage. So that one has 4 to vote through.
Well, we're gonna have some hot debates. It's gonna be good. Gonna be good.
And just so that anyone listening is aware, at the very bottom of I got distracted by the response. If you are interested in entering the RH end of the year giveaway, that is something you do at the very bottom of Handheld of the Year round 3, where it'll ask you for your Discord username specifically. If you don't put anything down there, you won't be added in.
Yes, and that gets you the giveaway, and put that Discord name in.
Yep.
And Ban is nice enough to host this giveaway this time, so people are sending him a lot of stuff. Brands are sending him things. I think Acnus is sending you some stuff for the giveaway. Oh, and by the way, Acnus had something they wanted to share as part of that, right?
Yep. They do have a questionnaire that's been put in. It should be it'll eventually be in the description of this stream as well.
I got added in.
Yep, you just fill it out. It talks about hey, what's your experience with Acnus? And that's kind of just what it's good for.
And they could win a SNES dock, I think, and potentially that new green Halo keyboard and mouse combo.
Oh,
that's what I asked. Beautiful. That's what I asked to be part of this. So they said, okay, we might be able to swing that. They just have to talk to 8-Bit Dough because they're not sure yet if that's even going to be on the reviewer docket.
I hope so, because that is such a good color.
Russ, have you seen this? Have you seen the green keyboard?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that I would hate it on my desk, but it is cool to look at in pictures. It's just so green.
So green. They just unabashedly, it's that transparent Xbox green. It's perfect.
I'm more interested in the mouse than the keyboard. Doesn't the mouse have a dock or something? You're not using it.
Yeah, it's actually an ambidextrous design, so you can use it left and right-handed because it has 4 buttons, 2 on either side for you to use.
Did we all
too? So,
in my ADHD took over hard tonight, guys. Did we all talk about what handheld we're looking forward to for Digital Jedi already?
I don't think so.
Nope.
I think I just talked to Russ and then we just moved on.
That's all you needed.
I think I've done that a few times.
We all kind of agreed with the whole we need time thing.
We do need time. I think that's fair. All right, let's just another question here as well from Super Goo Glee. I just got my Pocket Evo. I bought the white one. Super Googly. I know. Just got my Pocket Evo. I bought the white one. Would it go yellow eventually? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, they use such high quality plastic. and have put on coatings, right? I think hardware is their main focus. But
Well, I think that used to happen because there was a chemical they put in the plastics back in the day, so it would be like flame proof or whatever, fireproof kind of thing.
It's not something I've seen in the modern age.
No, I think maybe if you live in a household that has a smoker or whatever, it might stain the plastics, but I don't think on its own it will turn yellow.
Okay.
People pay good money for that yellow, It's called a patina.
Yeah. You got that patina there. Thank you for your super chat. Other one, also from Super Google Lee, I told people to hold off on RP5. Now Odin Portal and Pocket Evo both destroy it 1 month after the hype. I think those are in two different price brackets.
Yeah.
You have a mid-range handheld with the Pocket 5, and you have the highest range Android handheld with the others.
Also,
the RP5 is like an all-rounder.
I think, I don't think the hype has died down even a little bit for the RP5, by the way.
Not at all.
Not even a little bit. Yeah.
I really need time to use my RP5. Like it came in like earlier last week. I even got another Pocket Air so I can compare those 5.5-inch screens.
Yes.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah, I actually have a video dropping tomorrow with the RP5.
Guys, wouldn't it be so nice if we just got some time to just play on these things? Like, let's take a month off from reviewing, from doing all the kerfuffles.
Ben, is that the Pocket Air?
I love the Pocket Air.
That's the one that bounces back and forth between the three of us.
Yeah. Him and I like to send handhelds back and forth to one another.
You know what I just realized? I have a Win 600 here that was in the possession of everyone on this stream.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, you're right. It was.
It's Russ's
Win. The Win Mini? Or do you mean the
Win 600?
Win 600, that's right.
3020E version.
20. Yeah. That's right.
I auctioned that one off to charity, and Mikhailov won the auction.
Yeah,
and then it just kind of went around.
And then it went to me. Yeah. Then it went to Stubbs, and then back to me.
Now
it's to me.
To Rob. Yeah,
and it still has Stubbs' Steam login.
Yes, it's still signed in.
Yeah, I'm still signed in on it.
The funny thing about that is I got into a whole big thing in the Win 600 part of the Retro Handhelds Discord about like what version of Windows to load onto it. And so I followed like all the destructions.
Yeah, all the destructions.
Stupid
Win 600.
Yeah. I followed all the directions to get that thing running like mint, and Rob got it, and he was like, "What? Somebody borked the Windows install on this." I'm like, "Wait a minute,
he blamed me,
Russ."
He was like,
"I borked it."
I was like, "What did Stubbs do to this thing?"
Yeah, I was like, "Dude, I didn't. I played a few games on it, and I was like, why did I buy this again?" And then it went off to ban. So.
And sharing with your dad's simulator ends up in your account. Don't worry about it.
Hell,
it might be a Christmas gift.
I probably played worse games. I probably have worse.
Have worse games on there.
I don't know. I'm not surprised anymore. Is anybody surprised? I'm not surprised.
I'm just gonna start sending Stubbs random Steam keys for really weird games.
I mean,
I'll redeem them. I'll redeem them.
That said, if the Win 701 actually becomes real and it's actually D-pad centric, we may finally have a somewhat decent D-pad centric handheld that runs Windows.
Win 701, you think it's going to happen? You guys think it's going to happen?
I'm an optimist.
No, I don't think
I'm afraid it is probably going to happen.
Oh,
that's how we start 2025 out. Oh gosh, she's doing this again.
I'm not dancing. We all saw how that went.
I don't know if that was dancing.
What's going to happen? I don't understand. Is he going to rap?
Hey, listen. Win 701 is coming to your town. Awesome Windows handheld with the best D-pad around. We don't need any of this nonsense or this Ally X MSI $900 BS. No, we just need Anbernic to bring the next Windows device. Why is there a clip on my hat? Get that out of here. Listen. Win 701, hype is on. Let's bring it on. Anbernic 2025. Come on. Thank you. All right, back to the show.
That was a great description of Stubbs. He looks like the adult trying to get a kid's meal.
Thank you.
They're not
Thank you.
wrong.
Thank you. I'll take that as the best kind of compliment. Good. Hector, thank you for your super chat. I want to know Russ's opinion on Knulli on the Trim UI brick. I think you.
So I have it installed. I have the pre-alpha, so not the one that's been the latest release, the one that came out maybe a week and a half ago through Patreons, and it's great. It works well. I've just been really focused on MinUI and having a very simple experience, and all the sleep and like autosave and all those other little functions that are part of MinUI that aren't quite there with Knulli yet. Just kind of makes me gravitate towards that a little bit more. And I've been playing more games with MinUI on my TrimUI brick than I usually do with retro handhelds, and I think it has to do with the operating system. So like I'm like an hour or two into Final Fantasy IV Advance. That's the furthest I've ever been in that game. I'm also like 2 hours into Castlevania Aria of Sorrow, and so that's also really far for me. And so I haven't had a lot of time with Knulli on it. I think it'll be great. I think it'll be a nice little option, especially like I mentioned earlier, if it's something that you want a visual-based OS, great fit. But for me, I've been using MinUI mostly, and as a result, I haven't used Knulli that much.
Do you want to know what my favorite part though about having Knulli on the brick is, at least? You can actually remap start and select to the spots where it should be, right up between the D-pad and face buttons.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. I never thought about that. You can do that on you can do that with MinUI as well. You can map anything to whatever, so you could do that as well.
That'll make it even
wait,
better.
I don't have one of these yet. What's going on with the start and select buttons?
Well, it's not up between the D-pad and the face buttons. It's down at the bottom in the
so the start and selector, like, it's not going to show my freaking out. There you go. So start and selector down here, but you could make them here instead, right? And so you could do that and like select and start. So you could use that for pausing, whatever. But then also you could use them for hotkeys to like close out of a game. So these are mapped to L3 and R3 instead. And so in MinUI, all you would have to do is just basically map L3 and R3 to be start and select, and you can do that within the settings. And so totally optional, totally a thing to do. But I like just hitting the bottom ones, going boop, and closing out of the game that way personally. But yeah.
Okay.
Wow, is this one of the first handhelds that actually have separate buttons for L3 and R3, other than like the GPD ones?
Yeah, I was gonna say like the old school GPD had it, but yeah, since then we really haven't seen that much. And yeah, it's really handy to be able to just like what I use for these hotkeys is one of them is my scaling option, so I can just tap that and cycle through like integer scaling or non-integer scaling. Then the other one I have set up for overlay, so I can just cycle through grid or scanline or none. And so I just hit those depending on the game in the moment, and then bam, I'm done. And so that's what I really like about it. I don't ever go into a menu. I can do everything with the hotkeys. So
that's excellent.
That's actually really smart.
Yeah.
Watch my video. I released it today.
I'm
video.
I'm planning on it. I got 2 bricks for a reason.
Nice.
I've got one coming. Go Game Geek is sending me one, so
I
put Russ UI on it.
Yes.
I have every intention of getting the other 2 colors of the brick.
Nice. Yeah, I have the white and red on order. Yeah.
The red is the one that has me excited personally. I think that's the best color of the 4.
Yeah, I agree.
Does that mean you're gonna have a brick house?
Oh no. Hey, do you guys want to see something real quick?
I know what
you think it is.
Hey.
Oh, it's not what I thought it was.
Oh,
that was supposed to come to my house.
I know they did. So this randomly showed up from Wario 64, I think, or another outlet was showing, hey, these are actually in stock. Yes, Rob, you got it too.
Yes. Oh, yours showed up the wrong address too.
I know.
2 of them.
That's all Stubbs is doing too.
Yes, well, PS Direct had them all day long recently, like a week ago or so, and I was like, because I've been eyeing this, and I want a Portal again, but I didn't want the standard one. I'm like, if I can't get this 30th anniversary, I'll just let it go. And then randomly, I'm like, all right, jumped on it. Retail price $220. I said, okay, all right. And I've been playing on it this week, and I know people are making fun of me. The Fox, he's like, definitely, that's the dumbest thing ever. Why would you buy that? And I was like, dude, now come on.
I hate this thing so much.
Look at this thing. Okay, it feels so comfortable. The screen, sure, it's not like OLED or anything, but the things that it's built for for my testing, it does really well. And I'm talking about the fact that it streams from my local PS5, but you don't even need a PS5 for this now. You can do just cloud streaming, and the cloud streaming actually is very competent already. And you can just boot up and just play your games, and it just works. Like I was really enjoying, Ratchet and Clank and God of War, and just my game library without latency or perceived latency to me. So I'm happy with it.
Plus to use that, right?
Yes. So the caveat is if you want to use the cloud streaming, you got to pay that yearly re-up on the PS Plus. There's various hacks and things you can do apparently, or tricks to get it for like 120 instead of 160. If you stay vigilant on sales, and also if you try to cancel your PS Plus membership, it'll give you an option to re-buy it for cheaper, and so that might be an option too. But yeah, I'm super happy with this. Like this is something that I don't need to mess with technically, and so for my role here doing so much technical stuff, it's like I just play this. And also Mechanism, I really should have paired this tonight with the Mechanism stuff, but I'll do that next week. Just the fact that Mechanism has a pillow that you can put this on, the one that Russ reviewed as well, and a bunch of accessories, and they got cases and just a whole ecosystem now for this portal. So I like this from the beginning though. Like I like this idea. It doesn't even emulate or anything like that. So that's my shill for the portal.
No, I think honestly, I have the original portal. I love it. It's an accessory. It's not a handheld. I think if people have expectations, it's going to do more than just stream or whatever. Right. I don't have any of those expectations. It's $200. It's expensive, but it is literally like a DualSense with a screen on it. And so if I am playing PS5 games at home, I will pull that thing out all the time because it's just so simple, and I've streamed my PlayStation on so many other handhelds. Nothing comes close to the experience on this, because not only is it a huge screen and really comfortable, and all the DualSense stuff just works natively, but it's also lightweight. And so it is something that I can play really easily. So I like it. And it's funny because I originally didn't want the PS1 portal like this one. I wanted the PS1 DualShock because I thought that looks really cool. But now seeing you like hold this, I'm like, actually, I think I do rather have the portal, like, even though I'm probably not going to get one, because if you just buy a nice looking controller, you're never going to look at it because you're looking at your TV. You're never looking down at your hands when playing. And so it's like a wasted opportunity when you have this beautiful controller that you don't look at. It's just going to get grimy with like Cheeto dust. Whereas this one, you actually will look at it. You know what I mean? And so, man,
I'm really,
but I'm going to stay true to my old one.
You can go on eBay and get these for a little bit of an upcharge. I'm talking like $120 to $150 upcharge, but they're there. No. But I wouldn't do that. There's going to be more drops, and this, it showed up fast, and it's worth it. I did cancel my PS Plus today because I was going to try to re-up for that cheaper price, and it's already telling me I am bad for doing that. It's like, hey, you need to give us money. I'm like, crap. Okay. So I need to do that before I can even use my cloud streaming again. So I foiled myself before the episode today. That's okay.
The one complaint I have about this thing is the fact that they want you to use the touch screen to actually hit the touchpad button.
Yeah, that was a little bit annoying. I noticed that as well. You don't get that touchpad, but I mean, this is a touch screen and it is right there, but it's a little bit unergonomic to kind of reach over, and you have your start right side and your left side.
And it doesn't always respond. And a lot of the games that I play on my PS5, like that opens up the map. And it gets annoying pretty quick.
Do you guys ever think that this thing will be hacked at some point?
Someday.
Like
one day.
Don't buy it thinking that.
No. Of course not. I'm just saying. I mean, like, I could see it happening. I mean, look at the Spotify car thing, like what people were doing with that. So,
right,
for sure, I see this like happening sometime down the line. Like, just even to be able to run PS1 or whatever on there, would be kind of neat to see.
If it could play Xbox streaming, that would be pretty cool. But otherwise, I can't think of a single thing I would want to do on that other than playing PS4 and PS5 games. You know what I mean?
It'd be cool to get like Moonlight support. Then we could open up to just PC stuff too. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like, I don't want to play PSP games on this thing. The controls don't really match for me.
Right. Yeah, and it's people are saying that the lights kind of clash with the theme, and I agree there too. Might turn off those LEDs in the end. But the haptics, man, the haptics are so good. It is that DualSense haptics. And I really wanted the 30th anniversary DualShock as well, and I haven't been able to find it. And then randomly Ban walks into Furniture Mart in Nebraska and finds 2 of them just sitting on the shelf and got them for retail price. I couldn't believe it. So Caleb and I were like, please.
Yeah, Stubbs.
Why didn't you keep one? Why didn't you want to keep one?
Well, I don't have a PS5.
Well, yeah, but
you know, use on anything else.
Use the controller still on other stuff.
Yeah, but if I did that, then you couldn't have stolen the DualSense from Andrew.
Oh yeah, see.
There were 3 guys who wanted it, only 2 controllers.
Well, I got my Hogwarts one. I could send you, Ban, if you want to use that instead.
No, you're all good. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Stubbs, I think, is just getting lost in the game.
Sorry.
Oh, now he's just actually getting lost.
I was just about to say, I think we found a game that Stubbs is good at, but never mind.
No, that didn't take long.
Game, sir. Speaking of another thing, we don't need to go into a whole thing. I just wanted to show you the colorway because we've already reviewed this to death. But this is your same old G8 Galileo Plus in a really sweet colorway. Check this thing out.
It says,
wait. What does it say on the box?
I'm inevitable.
I'm invannatable.
I'm invent.
Oh yeah, it's not spelled correct. I didn't even notice that.
I'm invannatable.
It's
but
just
this thing is royal, man. This thing is glorious. Look at this colorway. Look at that. Look at that.
Wow.
Transparent, like gold, purple.
I just
like,
love that
the gold.
The face buttons are the Infinity Stone colors. I love that.
So it's Thanos right there on the back.
Oh
my gosh, guys.
I'm not.
I heard McCaleb got himself something dangerous at Disneyland.
I did. Hold on.
Wait, someone just said Todd just said Lakers themed.
It is a Lakers theme. That's right. It's purple and yellow.
Did I show you this thing turned on yet?
What?
No.
Oh, he's got his test.
Oh, the Infinity Stone.
That's right.
The Infinity Stone lights up, like at the bottom, and then the whole thing. Where's
Oh, give him a second.
Look at that.
Oh wow, look at that.
That's pretty good.
Oh wait, let's swap you. There you go.
Oh, let me turn my light off again.
It's all cloudy and like
it glows.
This was $50. I have been looking for a replica Tesseract forever, and they're always over 100.
The cube.
So when I saw this,
Todd was thinking it was a cool 100 there.
Yeah, no, this was 50. That's why I grabbed it. I just for that price, I had to get it.
Watch Stubbs' phone get hacked again.
Oh yeah.
The cool thing
so
about
you guys want to? Oh yeah, look at that.
You actually have to put the space stone in it for it to work. It's like a.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I gotta hook this up and get it all set up. I love the weight on this thing. I always forget how much I like the G8 Plus.
Did Stubbs get his phone hacked last week?
Yeah, I heard about this.
Oh yeah, so
I'm waiting for the next time
because we won't let him hear the end of it.
Yeah, so unfortunately, yeah. Here's what happened.
Oh, is he gonna reenact it?
Oh, come on.
Yeah, you should go grab it and see what happens again.
Someone put. Yeah, I was like,
So
there it is.
this
Why do you
thing-
have that thing in your house still?
Because it's not getting hacked, I found out in the end. So here's the thing about this is that it has horrible voltage control. And what it did was, and I researched this after the episode, what it did was it triggered Samsung to go into its Chinese recovery mode. And it was trying to download new firmware for itself because it thought that it was screwed and bricked.
Samsung's Korean.
Or Korean recovery. I'm sorry, Korean
If it's in
recovery. mode.
Chinese, you got a problem.
Not
there,
Chinese.
my
I can't read either language fluently at all, so I'm mistaken. But yes, you're right. Korean menu, and it doesn't work when you do it like that. So it'll just screw it all up, and it'll charge for a second, and then it's going to switch to this horrible screen. Let's not do it again. But
let's not do it again.
So if you hold it on there for too long, I don't know what the time frame is.
No, don't do that.
Let's not try.
but it's real bad. And but I triple confirmed, and I also reproduced the issue, and I saw it happen, and I was able to like safely get out of it again. And unfortunately, I did wipe my phone last week though, but it was a false alarm, and Reddit came to my aid there. So thank you, Reddit. But this thing is very cheap, $19 e-waste. It's a power bank. Don't use it on anything. It doesn't even turn on or work. Like, this is one of the worst things I've purchased from AliExpress. The best, of course, being
go back to that controller then. I have a question for you guys about this controller, right? So do you look at this? Like, I'm assuming most of us have the games for G8, or at least the Plus, right? And you ever thought, like, you're holding it in your hands, it's all nice and sleek, and you think to yourself, this needs infinity stones. Like, is that why people, like, why does this exist? I don't understand. Like, I do not like flashy things like this where I'm like, I love Marvel so much, I want to feel Marvel while I'm playing Mario. Like, that's not a thing that
Hulk
happens.
one.
Dude,
I think it's a little
I think the Hulk one.
It's a Hulk one too.
There's a Hulk. Show him the Hulk one. Show him the Hulk one, Rob.
I don't have
put it
it.
up.
Hold on.
Hold up.
I'll get it.
Your screen here. In the meantime, what do we got here, Rob?
Look at this. Look at all these pickles, dude. Are you
still
seeing all these
recording?
pickles here?
Look at that.
Is there a good old-fashioned egg?
Hold on, Zoo. This is for you.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
A stern but fair.
No, I did not know there was a Hulk version of that either. That's
You gotta
crazy.
see
Why?
this.
I
The
do not
Hulk
need
version
Steam
looks better.
controllers.
Look at
Oh,
that thing,
doesn't
man.
look better.
It's
That looks
better.
Look
It's
at that.
better.
That's better.
It's green. It's green.
Better. Look at how green
it's
it is.
good.
Not even just
does.
because it's green. It's not as
Oh my
flashy
gosh.
as the
Yeah.
Thanos one.
No, look at the pictures on it and stuff.
at
It's
the
like I don't want to Hulk smash my retro games. I just want to play them. You know what I mean? Like, this is not like an aesthetic for me. You know?
No,
I
but
don't-
like
I'm pretty sure that's like there's a term for that. Hulk smashing your retro games.
Yeah, I'm sure.
it's called anger.
It's called rage quitting.
Right.
Well, I don't
No.
know about you though, but I think this. I really like this. I like the flashy for some reason. Like, it's gaudy and I love it. I'm not even a fan of Marvel movies or Thanos or anything. I like how ridiculous it is. It makes me happy.
Let's celebrate this guy who killed half the universe by like looking at him while we play video games. It doesn't make any sense to me.
But he didn't. Well, like, but not in real life. He didn't. He's a character. But I mean, maybe some people say, some philosophers say, some astrophysicists say that anything you dream up and you imagine has happened in some universe, some reality at some point. So maybe it is true. Maybe he did destroy half the universe. In which case, we shouldn't celebrate such an unwieldy amount of power. However, as a gamer, don't you want the most power to be able to dominate in your video games and really just look how bedazzled this is, dude?
I think if you're going to use this and you're like talking to someone and they're like playing it, like, okay, what do I do now? You go, okay, press time stone, then do mind stone. You know what I mean? Like, you got to refer to it as the stones instead of the actual button, you know?
I got to learn the names.
Right.
I got to learn the name of the stones. No, I know. I don't know who I'm trying to think of here. Somebody said it. It was
probably
something.
Thanos. It was Thanos. Who said
It was Thanos that said that. Warlord, no astrophysicist says that. I don't know. But I like my fun controllers. I like my absolute S9. Like, look at that.
That's cool looking. I don't mind that.
I like that
I don't mind
one.
that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
And then the BSP D8, the Starfield theme. You know,
Yeah,
that's
it's still fine. Like, I don't mind that either. I got a Starfield Xbox.
But
controller.
this
I
is where
don't-
you draw the line.
Right.
I secretly
Oh my
want
God.
all these variants because I want to like mix them all up because everything is removable. You can take the face plates off and
Right.
the face buttons come off. So I'm like, I
Yeah,
just want to make like
Mod
these
City.
Rob
crazy
is-
looking G8.
You can't
Rob
do it
is
on
gonna have
here.
too much
Can you?
stuff.
Oh, you can. We can build a. We
can.
can
Yeah,
build.
you can
We
take those
can build, dude. We
Yeah.
can build a custom.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
There's
we
like
can
5
build it
different
better.
versions of the G8 Plus.
Wait,
didn't-
go grab another one of your G8s.
I only have the one right now. I think.
Oh,
you have
no.
my other- you have my other one.
Oh
Don't
yeah,
you?
I gave you like I don't know
Didn't
what
you
I
3D
gave.
print me, dude. You 3D printed me your dongle tower in exchange for a G8.
No, I didn't. No, I did not.
You should get a
did.
dongle box
No.
next.
That was for something else.
Oh well, thank you. I love it.
That is indeed a dongle tower.
All right, well, good. Okay, everybody.
So now I'm kind of picturing those like Infinity Stone buttons on just a standard black G8.
See, that would be a nice little pop. I wouldn't mind that, but it's just
Yeah.
this, like of all the IPs and characters in the world, like I never thought to myself, man, I need a Thanos controller.
I do agree
You know
with
what
that.
I mean?
I think even an Iron Man one would have been better.
Right.
It's such a random collaboration. It was like,
I don't know why
how
this
did
is
this
triggering
happen?
me so much, but it's just so
I don't
fun.
know. Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet, I think it's more the stones than anything else. People want to feel like they have like that power in their hands.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
I'm gonna bring this to CES, Russ. Once you feel it, you'll be converted.
It's
No,
gonna
bring it
feel
so I
like
can
a
take it to the
G8.
Game Store booth and I can just give them the what for. Be like, why did you do this?
I need to talk to you about this. Why
You guys
have
are in
you done
timeout.
that? I'm done.
I kind of want to bring it to the Game Store booth and be like, you have another one.
So if you're interested in this awesome freaking bedazzled controller Thanos featured, you can find it not on Amazon, I understand, only on their website. So they're limited edition.
it's on AliExpress.
Yeah,
I
it's on
believe.
AliExpress.
And
Yeah.
okay, AliExpress as well.
Yeah. It was on sale for like $59 or something like that
Oh,
recently.
really?
This new
Yeah,
sale is not as good though. So
Forget everything I said then. You can get it in multiple places. But you can get it and it looks like this.
If you want it to look like something else, you could still go to GameSir and get one in a better color.
Yeah, and then you can take out some of these sweet buttons and do like your
Mm-hmm.
own custom combo. Dude, look at these.
Oh, you might be able to put
makes
in
me
like
so happy.
the SNES like gray one with the colored buttons.
Guys, I'm in my color phase right now. You know that. So
what's going to be your color of the year for 2025?
I think multicolor. I think Thanos multicolor jewels is my color. Yeah.
I'm worried about next year with you then.
I don't know. You can't pin me down. I just like stuff that looks fun. And it was Russ's fault. He got me into that whole mindset because back, I don't know when, you were making fun mod videos on modding your early handhelds, like the RGB10, the original one. You had a metal shell and made it blue, and
Yeah,
you know
so
that got
it's a
me thinking
tasteful
like
little pop of color.
little pop of color. Yeah, sure. But
Tasteful.
then you went on to get that candy orange creamsicle. Why are you zooming in,
RGB10
camera?
Max.
I turned auto zoom off again. Yeah, the RGB10 Max, and that was orange and fun, and you did some swap outs there.
Panda
And then I'm
mod,
like,
yeah.
because I was so rigid back then. I was so rigid, like, no, I will only buy devices that are white. I will only buy devices that are green. And that made me think like, oh, devices can be different fun colors. And now this is the monstrosity that you built, Russ. This is what
what I've
becomes of
done.
that thinking. Eventually we all get here. We all have a bedazzled Thanos.
I can't wait for the next one. It's going to be, like a Veronica Mars themed one.
Yeah.
They're going to just come up with some random IP.
Caleb's ordered a whole case of them.
Let's not talk about Kristen Bell.
Now that wasn't Kristen Bell in Disneyland.
So you're
That
saying
was-
there's a chance we're getting a Frozen branded one then?
I'm just using random IPs that don't make any sense, much like
Rob.
Thanos. That's all I'm doing.
Rob, let it go.
Well, everybody, let's get out of here. It's been a good show, but we all need to have dinners and there's things to do. And I might play on my PS Portal and just play a game tonight. Just kidding. I know that you're all waiting for me to do a video about this bad boy right here. And so I'm going to start recording and getting testing and filming. But you know what? I'm going to play games that are fun for me. So that's my game time. That's my game time. We're going to get, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get PS Plus or remote play working here. Chiaki, right? That's what we want to do.
Yeah, you can do PX Plus as well. I think I
Yeah.
actually have it loaded on there. So
PX or PS?
they changed the name
changed
PX
it,
Plus. They did.
PX Plus. Okay.
Yeah, PX Plus.
It should be on there. I loaded it up. I think.
Wait,
thank you.
wait, Russ, did you remove your PlayStation 5?
Yeah. I think I
Okay.
did. I don't know. Do not play my Astrobot.
Okay.
Log out.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, dude, you loaded this up. Thank you. Out of respect to
Yeah,
you,
know
I
how to
will.
set up a handheld.
You really do. It's like you've been doing this for a while.
We do have a super chat question.
Oh, Troy. Oh, wow. Okay. Sorry, I missed this one. Thank you for the super chat. Question for the panel. Do you see the Steam console dominating over Sony and Microsoft in this market? On the console? No, I don't see a domination happening with this one. I do see, and thank you for your super chat again. I do see that it's going to be wildly popular probably amongst those who have a Steam Deck, just to have that ecosystem. Just like, oh, I love my Steam Deck so much, let me show love for it by adding this additional thing that does the same thing but on my TV now. That's really cool. I don't know that it's going to outsell Sony or Xbox though.
No.
Yeah, I think that your standard gamer, casual gamer, just outweighs the kind of person who would be into Steam. You know what I mean? Like, you talk to a guy who's got the PS5, who plays his Madden, plays his Call of Duties.
Right.
He doesn't know what a Steam is, like what any of that stuff is, you know. And so,
yeah.
I don't see it dominating in the market, but I can see it being like a third alternative in that higher gen kind of thing. Not counting Nintendo as being their own thing or whatever.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I think, I mean, even if you look at the Steam Deck, the Steam Deck has done well, but hasn't sold nearly the same amount as a Switch has, and it doesn't need to. It's its own thing, and I think that's kind of what it's going to end up being for the Steam console. I think there'll be something similar to that, and again, it's just another option in the market, which is never a bad thing.
Yep, totally.
Russ, you need to buy a PS Portal though.
I have one. I just don't have that one.
You got to get this one next.
You should buy that one.
No,
I don't know.
no.
The RGB lighting is kind of giving me.
It does ruin it. It does ruin it. Unfortunately, I got to disable this lighting. But good, very good question. Top 5 games. Oh, they're not letting us get out of here early tonight, guys. They got thank you for your super chat, Chad. I like the waffle emoji. Top 5 games you played on handhelds this year. God, top 5.
What is just like 1 or 2 like really good games that you can
I could think of one right now easily.
I was gonna say, you know what you're gonna say.
Balatro, Halls of Torment, Balatro.
Yes, Balatro, Halls of Torment, Grim Valor. Or if we're talking Android or just talking games in general. I mean,
it's handheld, so anything.
Everything.
Right?
This Indiana Jones game is shaping up to really be a time sucker, but it looks awesome. What else I've been enjoying? I'm enjoying the hell out of Battlefield 2042, and Cyber Dopamine got me into Delta Force. He said to sign up for that. I really want to try out Delta Force. It's free to play, I guess. But yeah, that's mine. What about you guys?
Yeah, definitely Balatro. I think that's probably my most. I'm trying to pull up my Steam library right now to just kind of look. Obviously, a bunch of retro games and stuff, but a lot of Balatro, a lot of Spider-Man. I've been trying to get through that game forever. So I do 20 minutes here or there, and it runs really well on the Ally X with that variable refresh rate screen. And so that's been really great for me. And then, I haven't done Astrobot too much on. I just love it on a TV, so I play that one on TV as opposed to on a handheld.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I like Halls of Torment and Balatro, because you can really pick it up anywhere. It's good on any device, you know. So it's just one of those kind of games that's why it ends up being played on a handheld quite a bit.
Yeah.
Dan, what about you?
I mean, I've kind of just spread out a lot of my time, like across way more games this year than I did last year.
What about Clawler? The Clawler.
Good luck saying it.
Claw. I picked that up because of you, and it's pretty entertaining.
Did you pick it up on Steam or did you pick it up on Android? Because it's on both.
I have it on both.
See, there you go. That I did get into a lot of different like roguelite deck builders this year. I mean, obviously Balatro, but also, Dungeon Crawler, Peglin, like
I played more Slay the Spire again. I actually went through that game again, so it inspired me to play that. There's so many good roguelikes out there.
Yeah, another one I found is Parking Garage Rally Circuit. Have you guys played that one? It's like Sega Rally Championship.
Look it up right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it runs great on anything.
Okay, you sold me on Sega Rally Championship, so now I really have to look it up.
Yeah, it's really great.
And, it's only $10.
Yeah, it's like a Steam Deck, like really good kind of Steam Deck kind of game. It's a PC game, but really lightweight. Really good.
Yeah, this looks fun.
Oh, I might have to pick this up once we're done. love racing games.
Wait, what's it called?
Same.
Parking Garage Rally Circuit.
Oh, Stubbs left to go play.
He's gone.
And so another game that I've been playing a lot is called Selaco, like SELACO. So that is a Doom mod game, but it's like modern, and it's just an FPS game, but super lightweight. And it's in early access, but it's been in early access for a long time, and so it's basically just the game. And that one's been really fun too.
Oh, yeah.
I played a bit of Hades too. That was another one I've been playing a lot on handhelds.
I gotta pick that one up still.
I played that for a day, and then I was like, no, I'm ruining the experience. So I stopped because I want to.
I held off for a bit. And I had to give in. I couldn't do it anymore.
Have any of you played Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion?
I have a little bit.
Yes, I've played that. Yep, that's actually got a native Android version too for those that are.
It does.
Yeah.
I love that we're seeing more native Android ports for these indie
I
games.
love
It's so
it.
cool.
I've been getting a lot of them. Carrion just got one recently. We're seeing a lot.
Yeah,
of
I
it.
saw
It's
that.
awesome.
Yeah, Delta Force as well. So I gotta play that tonight. I gotta do a little.
I
game
actually
time.
Netflix is really
beat
opening
Turnip
up the
Boy
game.
on the
Yeah.
RP Mini.
I love the RP
I
Mini.
beat that game on the RP Mini. It was like perfect for that game.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
man.
So like Todd mentioned, Netflix games
Yeah.
has really
So
pushed
many
Android
games.
games for me.
Yes.
Like just having that and just keep playing has been so great. Just to immediately be able to play one of those good. You got to log in once, which is a
Sure.
pain, but other than that, it's super awesome.
I'm going to be completely honest, because of things like Netflix games, most of the time with Android handhelds, I'm spending more time in those games than I am trying to set up emulators.
Yep. I play a lot of the native Android stuff on my handheld devices, on the Android devices. It's one of my favorite things to do, honestly.
Yeah, me too. I love this shift now towards using devices what they're built for. It's funny. Like I've been emulating on Android for so long, for so many years, that just in the last year or so, it's really like, oh wait, this plays Android games. Oh wait, it was built for that. Oh, this is a really good experience. Oh, no wonder, and I'm definitely spending more time on Android games, on Android devices, Windows games, on Windows devices. I know I need to mess with Win later more, and I'm going to do it on the portal because Russ was nice enough to get this set up for me here. So you're going to see some of that, but get my thoughts on it. But man, just using a device where it's built for the PS Portal, I think it's brilliant. And so it's like we don't always need to overcomplicate things in the scene. What if we just use handhelds for what they're best at? So on that note, everybody, I think we are going to get out of here. Unless anyone has any final thoughts, rants, ravings, hugs.
We did a lot of hugging.
There were plenty of hugs.
Yeah,
plenty of hugs and hand holding this past week.
We did. I'm glad we got together over that.
Poor band.
I got to. Ban, we got to get you out to one of these events. I know you got a busy schedule.
Oh yeah.
But
are the kids really that important?
I mean, you have someone else in this panel you can ask.
The youths.
Earning
no, because Michaela was with us.
Educating the youth. Yeah, he took time off work. He said, no, the kids will be fine. The kids will be all right. I'm going to Disneyland.
There's your
man's got to earn his stripes before he could just take random days off.
Yeah, and why aren't you buying any merch, man?
Okay. Hey, actually, I did redeem my Game of the Month points.
Hey,
I got.
Why aren't you having catastrophic diarrhea for a whole week?
I'm
proud
not of you.
I'm not Stubbs.
Hey, now you know what? It happens to the best of us. Pick up the merch though if you're into it. It's in our description, of course. And I am making my way now, eventually, to ending this show.
He's making his way downtown.
I am there. Well, I have these graphics you guys added in here. What is this?
What a professional!
We're walking our way out of this show. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share to stay in the know for all of your favorite retro handhelds with us. And once again, a special thanks to our channel members, patrons, and subs for making everything here possible for us. Join us in our Discord to chat and play games, and join us next week where we are going to have Mr. Russ on again to chat about RK3566 best controllers, as well as a whole bunch of fun stuff, and we'll see what happens in the retro world in the next week, because I'm sure it's going to be nuts, whatever it is. The biggest flop of the year could be Band's Nut, could be
It's
MSI Claw. We're going to find out later this month. We're going to be joined again by Bob Wolf and end the year with with Rapid 99 there for that Game of the Year awards. So, all right, everybody. Well, on behalf of Rob, Mikhailov, Dan, and Russ, this has been Stubbs from Retro Handhelds. Take care of those handhelds.
Take care
of
everybody.
each other.
I guess.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.